Once upon a time, in the peaceful kingdom of Alaria, there was a small village named Bramblewood. Nestled at the edge of the Whispering Woods, Bramblewood was known for its clear, sparkling lake. Legend had it that the lake was formed from the tear of a dragon, and its waters had healing powers. The villagers relied on the lake for their health and well-being, and they lived happily for many generations. However, one fateful summer, the lake began to dry up. The once crystal-clear waters turned murky, and the villagers fell ill without the lake's healing properties. Desperate and afraid, the village elders gathered to discuss how to save their beloved lake. They decided to consult the ancient scrolls, hoping to find a solution. According to the scrolls, the lake was indeed created from the tear of a dragon named Seraphina, who had once roamed the skies of Alaria. The scrolls also mentioned a hidden cavern deep within the Whispering Woods, where a single, enchanted dragon's tear could be found. This tear, if added to the lake, would restore its waters to their former glory. In Bramblewood lived a brave and kind-hearted girl named Lila. She had grown up hearing stories of Seraphina and the magical lake. Determined to save her village, Lila volunteered to embark on the perilous journey to find the enchanted tear. The villagers were worried for her safety, but Lila's resolve and courage won their support. Before she left, the village healer gave Lila a small vial of lake water and a necklace with a crystal pendant, said to protect the wearer from dark magic. With the necklace around her neck and the vial safely tucked away, Lila set off into the Whispering Woods. The woods were dense and filled with strange, magical creatures. As Lila ventured deeper, she encountered a mischievous sprite named Nyx. With his sparkling eyes and playful nature, Nyx was intrigued by Lila's quest. "What brings you to these enchanted woods?" he asked, fluttering around her. Lila explained her mission, and Nyx, impressed by her determination, offered to guide her. Together, they faced numerous challenges. They crossed the River of Illusions, where the water played tricks on their minds, and navigated the Maze of Shadows, where every wrong turn echoed with haunting whispers. As they ventured further, they encountered a wise old owl named Athena, who had once been Seraphina's companion. Athena was initially wary, but moved by Lila's courage, she decided to help them. She revealed that the cavern they sought was guarded by an ancient creature, a guardian of the forest. After days of travel, they finally reached the entrance to the hidden cavern. The guardian, a massive, gentle bear named Thorn, stood watch. Thorn's deep, rumbling voice filled the air. "Who dares to seek the dragon's tear?" Lila stepped forward, her voice steady. "I am Lila of Bramblewood, and I seek the tear to save my village and restore our lake." Thorn studied her for a moment before nodding. "Only those with a pure heart and noble intentions may enter. You have proven yourself worthy." With Thorn's blessing, Lila, Nyx, and Athena entered the cavern. Inside, the air was cool and filled with the faint glow of luminescent crystals. At the cavern's center was a small pool, and above it hung a single, shimmering tear, the dragon's tear. As Lila approached, the tear began to glow brighter. She gently took it and placed it in the vial with the lake water. The tear dissolved, and the water sparkled with renewed magic. Thanking her companions, Lila hurried back to Bramblewood. When she returned, the villagers gathered anxiously around the lake. Lila poured the enchanted water into the lake, and as it mixed, the waters began to clear. The lake sparkled once more, and the villagers' health was restored. They rejoiced, celebrating Lila's bravery and the return of their beloved lake. Lila's story spread throughout Alaria, inspiring others with her courage and determination. The village of Bramblewood thrived, and the legend of the dragon's tear became a cherished tale, reminding everyone of the power of hope and bravery. And so, Bramblewood lived happily ever after, forever grateful for the brave girl who saved their magical lake and restored their village. The end. Once upon a time, in a village nestled at the edge of an enchanted forest, there lived a young girl named Mira. Mira had a special gift: she could weave dreams into beautiful tapestries. Every night, she would sit by her loom, and as she wove, the dreams she captured would come to life in shimmering threads of gold and silver. The villagers adored Mira's tapestries. They brought hope and joy, filling their homes with dreams of adventure, peace, and wonder. But there was one dream that Mira had never been able to weave, the dream of the Starlight Weaver, an ancient legend that spoke of a magical tapestry woven from the light of the stars. One evening, as Mira worked by the light of a crescent moon, she heard a soft whisper in the wind. "Seek the Starlight Weaver, and your greatest dream shall come true." Determined to unravel the mystery, Mira set out the next morning to find the legendary Starlight Weaver. She ventured into the enchanted forest, guided by the whispers of the wind and the sparkle of the twilight. The forest was alive with magic. Glowing fireflies danced around her, and trees whispered secrets of old. After walking for hours, Mira reached a clearing where a magnificent tree stood, its branches adorned with twinkling lights that shimmered like stars. At the base of the tree was a small door. Mira knocked gently, and the door creaked open to reveal a cozy room filled with threads of every color imaginable. At the loom sat an elderly woman with silver hair and eyes like stardust. She was the Starlight Weaver. "Welcome, Mira," the Starlight Weaver said warmly. "I have been expecting you." Mira's heart skipped a beat. "You know my name?" The Starlight Weaver smiled. "I know of your gift and your quest. You seek to weave the tapestry of starlight." Mira nodded. "Yes. I want to weave a dream that will bring hope and wonder to the world." The Starlight Weaver gestured to a loom covered in threads of pure, shimmering light. "To weave the tapestry of starlight, you must gather the light of 5 different stars: the star of hope, the star of courage, the star of joy, the star of wisdom, and the star of love." Mira's eyes widened. "But how will I find them?" The Starlight Weaver handed her a small, enchanted compass. "This compass will guide you to each star. Follow its light, and it will lead you to your destination." With a heart full of hope, Mira set out on her quest. The compass glowed softly, guiding her through the forest and beyond. Her first stop was the Mountain of Hope. There, Mira climbed to the highest peak and found a star shining brightly in the morning sky. It was the Star of Hope. As she touched it, the star's light infused her with a sense of determination. Next, Mira traveled to the Valley of Courage, where the winds howled fiercely. She faced the trials of the valley, showing bravery and strength. At the end of her journey, she discovered the Star of Courage, which bathed her in a warm, encouraging glow. In the Meadow of Joy, Mira danced with the playful fairies and sang with the birds. The Star of Joy twinkled overhead. And as Mira reached out, its light filled her with a sense of boundless happiness. The 4th star was hidden in the Forest of Wisdom, where Mira solved riddles and learned ancient truths from wise old creatures. At the heart of the forest, she found the Star of Wisdom, its light shimmering with profound insight. Finally, Mira ventured to the heart of the enchanted lake, where the Star of Love floated gently on the water. As she touched the star, its light embraced her with a deep, comforting warmth. With all 5 stars collected, Mira returned to the Starlight Weaver. The old woman guided her in weaving the magical tapestry. Mira worked tirelessly, her loom glowing with the combined light of the stars. The tapestry took shape, a breathtaking work of art that shimmered with hope, courage, joy, wisdom, and love. When the tapestry was complete, the Starlight Weaver presented it to Mira. "You have created a masterpiece," she said. "This tapestry will inspire and bring light to all who see it." Mira thanked the Starlight Weaver and returned to her village, carrying the tapestry with great pride. The villagers marveled at its beauty and were filled with a renewed sense of wonder and hope. The tapestry was hung in the village square, and its light reached every corner of the land. Mira's gift continued to bring joy and inspiration to everyone who gazed upon it. And so, the Starlight Weaver's legacy lived on through Mira's creation, a testament to the power of dreams and the magic of the stars. The end. Once upon a time, in the peaceful village of Bramblewood, nestled in a lush valley surrounded by towering mountains, there lived a young boy named Leo. Leo was a curious and brave lad, known for his adventurous spirit and his love of exploring the unknown. Bramblewood was a beautiful place, but it was facing a problem. A mysterious drought had dried up the village's water sources, threatening the livelihood of its people. One day, while wandering in the forest, Leo came across an ancient oak tree with a small, hidden door at its base. As he pushed the door open, he discovered an old, dusty book lying on the ground. Intrigued, he picked it up and started to read. The book told the legend of the Silver Grove, a magical place hidden deep within the forest that held the key to ending the drought. According to the legend, only a person with a pure heart and unwavering courage could find the grove and unlock its power. Determined to save his village, Leo decided to embark on the quest to find the Silver Grove. Early the next morning, he packed a small satchel with food, water, and the book, and set off into the forest. As he ventured deeper, the forest grew darker and more mysterious. The trees seemed to whisper secrets, and the air was filled with the scent of ancient magic. As Leo walked, he encountered a wise old owl named Oren. "Hello, young traveler," Oren hooted. "I see you are on a quest. The path to the Silver Grove is perilous, but I will guide you as best I can." Grateful for the owl's assistance, Leo followed Oren deeper into the forest. They soon reached the Whispering Falls, a cascading waterfall that sang with an enchanting melody. The legend spoke of the falls and the guardian who protected them, a graceful deer named Alara. Leo knew he had to gain her trust to continue his journey. "Welcome, Leo," Alara said, appearing from the shadows. "To pass, you must prove your kindness and bravery." Leo recounted his quest and the plight of his village. Moved by his sincerity, Alara agreed to help. "To find the Silver Grove, you must follow the path of the moonflowers. They only bloom under the light of the full moon." Leo and Oren continued their journey, and as night fell, the forest was illuminated by the soft glow of moonflowers. The flowers formed a luminous trail, guiding them through the dense underbrush. As they walked, they encountered various creatures, a playful fox named Finn, who shared his knowledge of the forest, and a wise tortoise named Tara, who provided valuable advice. After several days of traveling, they reached the heart of the forest, where the moonflowers led them to a hidden glade. In the center of the glade stood a magnificent silver tree, its leaves shimmering like starlight. This was the Silver Grove. But to unlock its power, Leo needed to find the silver key, which was said to be hidden in the enchanted pond nearby. With the guidance of his new friends, Leo found the enchanted pond. The water was crystal clear, and at its bottom, he saw the silver key, glowing with a magical light. To retrieve it, Leo had to face his deepest fear, the fear of failure. Taking a deep breath, he dived into the pond. As he reached for the key, memories of his village and the people he loved gave him strength. He grasped the key and swam back to the surface. With the silver key in hand, Leo returned to the Silver Grove. He placed the key in a small, intricate lock on the trunk of the silver tree. As he turned the key, the tree began to glow, and a powerful wave of magic spread across the forest. The sky darkened, and then a gentle rain began to fall, soaking the earth and filling the rivers and streams. Leo and his friends returned to Bramblewood, where the villagers rejoiced at the sight of the rain. The drought ended, and the land flourished once more. The people of Bramblewood celebrated Leo's bravery and kindness, and the legend of the Silver Grove was passed down for generations. Leo continued to explore the world, always guided by the lessons he had learned and the friendships he had made on his journey. And so, the village of Bramblewood lived in prosperity and harmony, forever grateful to the young boy who had unlocked the secret of the Silver Grove. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. The Silver Fox and the Moonlit Lake. In a hidden valley surrounded by towering mountains and dense forests, there was a tranquil lake known as Moonlit Lake. Its waters were so clear that they mirrored the sky, and by night, the lake sparkled with the light of the moon, casting an ethereal glow over the land. In this valley lived a graceful silver fox named Leora. Unlike other foxes, Leora had a magical ability. She could communicate with the creatures of the forest and understand their needs. She used her gift to maintain harmony among the forest's inhabitants. The vanishing moonlight. One evening, as Leora wandered by the lake, she noticed that the moonlight seemed dimmer than usual. The once vibrant sparkle of the lake was fading, and the creatures of the forest were growing anxious. They gathered around Leora, expressing their concerns. A wise old owl named Orin spoke up. "Leora, something is wrong with the moonlight. It's as if it's being pulled away from us. The balance of our forest is at risk." Leora decided to investigate. She knew that the moonlight was crucial for maintaining the magic of Moonlit Lake and the well-being of the forest. With a determined heart, she set off on a journey to discover the cause of the fading light. The enchanted cave. Leora followed the path that led through the forest and up the mountains. As she climbed higher, she noticed that the light grew even dimmer. Eventually, she reached a hidden cave that glowed faintly with an otherworldly light. Inside the cave, Leora found a shimmering crystal, glowing with the same pale light as the moon. The crystal was embedded in a pedestal, but it was surrounded by a dark, swirling mist that seemed to be draining its light. As Leora approached, she felt a chill and saw a shadowy figure near the pedestal. The figure was a mischievous spirit named Nox, who thrived on darkness and sought to plunge the world into eternal night. Nox had been stealing the moonlight from Moonlit Lake to increase his own power. The battle of light and dark. Leora confronted Nox with courage. "You cannot take the moonlight from us. It is the lifeblood of our forest and the heart of Moonlit Lake." Nox sneered, "The darkness will rule, and there is nothing you can do to stop me." Determined to protect her home, Leora used her gift of communication to summon the animals of the forest. They gathered outside the cave, creating a powerful, united force. With their help, Leora began to counteract Nox's dark magic. The animals worked together to create a shield of light around the cave. Fireflies illuminated the area, and the song of nightingales created a harmonious melody that weakened Nox's power. Leora used her own magic to focus the energy of the moonlight, channeling it towards the crystal. As the battle raged, Leora felt the strength of the forest creatures and the warmth of the moonlight fueling her resolve. The crystal began to glow brighter, and the dark mist started to dissipate. Restoring the moonlight with a final, powerful surge of light, Leora and the forest animals overwhelmed Nox, banishing him from the cave. The crystal's light returned to its full brilliance, and the moonlight flowed back to Moonlit Lake, restoring its magical glow. The forest erupted in cheers as the creatures celebrated their victory. The moonlight danced on the lake's surface, more radiant than ever before. Leora felt a deep sense of satisfaction, knowing that the balance had been restored. The legacy of Leora. In gratitude, the creatures of the forest presented Leora with a beautiful, moonlit necklace made from the crystal's light. This necklace had the power to summon the moonlight in times of need, ensuring that the magic of Moonlit Lake would be protected forever. Leora wore the necklace with pride and continued her role as the guardian of the forest. Her bravery and the unity of the forest creatures were celebrated in stories and psalms, passed down through generations. Moonlit Lake remained a place of magic and wonder, a symbol of harmony between light and dark. And Leora, the silver fox with a heart full of courage, became a legendary figure whose tale inspired all who heard it. Once upon a time, in a land where the mountains kissed the sky and forests whispered ancient secrets, there was a serene village called Rivamist. This village was nestled by a magnificent lake known as Sapphire Lake. The lake was renowned for its crystal-clear waters that sparkled like sapphires in the sunlight, and it was said that a magical treasure lay hidden at the bottom, waiting to be discovered by a brave soul. For generations, the villagers had told tales of the treasure that could bring great prosperity to Rivamist. However, the lake was surrounded by dense fog and enchanted by ancient magic, making it impossible for anyone to find the treasure. Despite the stories, no one had ever ventured into the lake's depths. In Rivamist lived a small, sturdy boat named Beryl. Beryl was no ordinary boat. She had a gentle heart and a brave spirit. She had always dreamed of exploring the mysteries of Sapphire Lake and discovering the magical treasure for herself. The villagers had always used Beryl for their daily needs, but she yearned for adventure. One day, a terrible drought struck Rivamist. The once lush lands around Sapphire Lake began to wither, and the villagers' crops failed. Desperation grew, and the village elder announced that only a great treasure from the lake could save their beloved home. The villagers gathered by the lake, wondering how they could possibly reach the hidden treasure. Beryl, sensing the villagers' despair, knew this was her chance to fulfill her dream and help her village. She approached the elder with determination. "I will venture into the lake and find the treasure," Beryl declared. The villagers were astonished, but the elder nodded in approval. "You have a brave heart, Beryl. The journey will be perilous, but you must follow the guidance of the ancient map kept in the village's library. It is said to hold clues to the treasure's location." Beryl set off early the next morning, guided by the ancient map she found in the library. The map was old and faded, showing a series of symbols and paths leading through the lake. As Beryl sailed into the fog-covered waters, the magic of the lake stirred, creating gentle ripples that danced around her. The fog grew thicker, and soon Beryl found herself in a labyrinth of mist. The boat followed the map's directions carefully, navigating through the maze of fog. Along the way, Beryl encountered several magical creatures, a chatty water sprite named Nixie, a wise old turtle named Atlas, and a playful school of fish that glowed like lanterns. Nixie guided Beryl through the foggy maze, providing clues about the treasure's location. Atlas shared ancient knowledge about the lake's history, and the glowing fish illuminated the dark paths, helping Beryl stay on course. As Beryl ventured deeper into the lake, she reached an underwater cavern that was hidden from view. The entrance was guarded by a large, shimmering sea serpent named Seraphis. Seraphis was known for his wisdom and his protective nature over the lake's secrets. "Who dares enter my domain?" Seraphis rumbled, his eyes gleaming like emeralds. "It is I, Beryl," the boat replied with courage. "I seek the treasure to save my village from the drought." Seraphis regarded Beryl thoughtfully. "To prove your worth, you must answer a riddle. If you answer correctly, I shall grant you passage to the treasure." Beryl listened intently as Seraphis spoke. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Beryl thought for a moment. She remembered the whispers of the wind and the gentle songs it carried. "An echo," she answered confidently. Seraphis smiled and nodded. "You have answered wisely. You may pass." The sea serpent parted the waters, revealing a hidden chamber adorned with glowing crystals. At the center of the chamber was a chest made of shimmering seashells and coral. Beryl approached the chest and carefully opened it, revealing a radiant, golden amulet encrusted with precious gems. As Beryl took the amulet, the chamber began to light up with a brilliant glow. The magic of the amulet spread through the lake, and the fog began to clear. Beryl made her way back to Rivermist, carrying the amulet with her. Upon her return, the villagers gathered around with awe and anticipation. Beryl placed the amulet at the center of the village square, and its magic spread across the land. The drought ended, and the land around Sapphire Lake was rejuvenated with lush greenery and blooming flowers. The villagers celebrated Beryl's bravery with a grand feast, and the little boat became a beloved hero in Rivermist. The magic of the amulet brought prosperity and joy to the village, and Sapphire Lake sparkled with renewed brilliance. Beryl's adventure became a cherished story, reminding everyone that even the smallest and seemingly ordinary beings can achieve great things with courage and determination. Rivermist thrived, and the legend of the brave little boat who saved the village became a timeless tale told for generations to come. And so, Rivermist lived happily ever after, forever grateful for the magic and bravery that saved their home. The end. Once upon a time, in a land where the moonlight shimmered on every leaf and the stars sang lullabies to the night, there was a hidden orchard known as the Moonlit Orchard. This orchard was famous for its magical fruit, which could grant a single wish to anyone who found it under the light of a full moon. In a small village near the orchard lived a boy named Elric. Elric was a dreamer with a heart full of wonder. His greatest wish was to bring joy and prosperity to his village, which had fallen on hard times. The villagers had heard whispers of the Moonlit Orchard and its magical fruit, but no one had ever managed to find it. One night, as the full moon began to rise, Elric decided to embark on a quest to find the orchard and make his wish. He packed a small bag with a few essentials and set off under the silvery light of the moon. The journey to the Moonlit Orchard was filled with enchantments. Elric walked through fields of glowing flowers and past streams that sparkled like liquid stardust. The path seemed to shimmer and change with each step, as if the moon itself was guiding him. As Elric ventured deeper into the forest, he encountered a wise old owl perched on a branch. The owl's eyes glowed with the light of the moon. "Where do you go, young traveler?" the owl asked in a voice that sounded like rustling leaves. "I seek the moonlit orchard," Elric replied. "I wish to bring prosperity to my village." The owl studied him for a moment before nodding. "To find the orchard, you must pass 3 trials, each testing your heart and courage." Elric nodded, determined to succeed. The owl pointed him towards the first trial. The first trial was a bridge made of moonlight that spanned a chasm filled with mist. As Elric stepped onto the bridge, it began to sway and shimmer. He took a deep breath and carefully made his way across, focusing on the light of the moon to guide his steps. Just as he reached the other side, the bridge vanished behind him. The second trial was a meadow filled with luminescent flowers that whispered secrets to the wind. Elric needed to find a single golden flower hidden among them. As he carefully examined each flower, he heard their soft whispers, but he didn't let them distract him. Finally, he spotted the golden flower nestled in the tall grass and picked it gently. The final trial was the most challenging. Elric arrived at a glade where a majestic, ancient tree stood, its branches glowing with moonlight. The tree spoke in a deep, resonant voice. "To pass this trial, you must give up something precious to you." Elric thought about his family, his friends, and his dreams. He realized that what mattered most to him was the happiness of his village. With a heavy heart, he removed a small locket from around his neck, a gift from his grandmother. He placed it at the base of the tree as a symbol of his sacrifice. The tree's branches swayed, and a gentle breeze whispered through the leaves. "Your heart is pure, and your sacrifice is great. You have passed the trials. The moonlit orchard is now yours to find." Following the guidance of the moonlight, Elric soon reached the moonlit orchard. The trees were laden with fruit that glowed softly in the moonlight. He picked a single fruit and held it close, feeling its warmth and magic. As he closed his eyes and made his wish for his village, a gentle breeze carried his words through the night. The orchard's magic took flight, spreading joy and prosperity across the land. The village awoke to find their fields lush and their homes filled with happiness. Elric returned to his village as a hero, but he never forgot the lessons of the moonlit orchard. He continued to help others, always guided by the pure heart and courage that had brought him to the magical orchard in the first place. And so, the village thrived, and the moonlit orchard remained a beacon of hope and magic in the moonlit nights, reminding all who sought its wonders that true magic comes from the heart. The end. In the tranquil kingdom of Luminera, nestled between emerald hills and sparkling lakes, there was a small village known for its peacefulness and harmony. The villagers lived simple lives, their days filled with laughter and joy. However, the kingdom had one mystery that intrigued everyone: the legend of the starling's gift. The legend spoke of a magical starling bird that appeared only once every century. This bird was said to possess a dazzling feather that could grant one extraordinary wish to anyone who found it. The legend had become a source of hope and dreams for the villagers, who often gathered around the old oak tree in the village square to share stories and sing psalms about the elusive starling. In this village lived a young girl named Elowen, known for her kindness and adventurous spirit. Elowen was fascinated by the legend of the starling's gift and often dreamed of finding the magical bird. She believed that if she could find it, she could make a wish to bring everlasting happiness to her village. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky was painted with hues of pink and purple, Elowen noticed a bright light flickering in the distance. The light seemed to dance and shimmer like a beacon. Determined to uncover its source, she decided to follow it. Guided by the flickering light, Elowen ventured into the enchanted forest that bordered the village. The forest was known for its mystical creatures and magical flora. As she walked deeper into the woods, the air grew cooler, and the light grew brighter, illuminating the path with a soft, golden glow. After walking for what felt like hours, Elowen reached a serene clearing bathed in moonlight. In the center of the clearing stood a majestic tree with silver leaves that glistened like stars. Perched on one of the branches was the starling, its feathers sparkling with an ethereal glow that illuminated the entire clearing. Eloan approached the starling with awe and respect. The bird's eyes, filled with ancient wisdom, met hers. As she stepped closer, the starling began to sing a melodious tune, filling the air with a sense of tranquility and wonder. Eloan listened to the song, feeling a deep connection with the magic of the moment. When the starling finished its song, it fluttered down gracefully and perched on Eloan's shoulder. It then gently presented her with a single, shimmering feather. Eloan's heart swelled with gratitude as she accepted the feather, knowing that her wish could soon come true. Before she left, the starling spoke in a soft, melodic voice. "The gift you seek lies not only in the wish but in the heart of the one who makes it. True magic comes from the love and selflessness with which you use it." With the feather safely tucked in her hand, Eloan made her way back to the village. The journey home seemed shorter, the forest paths illuminated by the gentle light of the starling's magic. As she arrived at the village, the villagers gathered around, their faces filled with anticipation. Eloan held up the feather and spoke. "I found the starling and received this magical feather. I wish for our village to be blessed with joy, peace, and prosperity, so that we may always live in harmony." The moment Eloan made her wish, the feather began to glow brightly, and a soft breeze carried its magic throughout the village. The air filled with a sweet fragrance, and the village was bathed in a warm, golden light. The crops flourished, the river sparkled, and the villagers felt a renewed sense of happiness and unity. The magical transformation lasted for generations, and the story of Eloan and the starling's gift became a cherished legend in Luminera. The village thrived, its people forever grateful for the kindness and bravery of one young girl who had sought to make the world a better place. And so, the legend of the starling's gift lived on, a reminder that true magic is found in the selfless heart of those who seek to spread joy and love. Once upon a time, in a land where the mountains kissed the sky and the rivers sang sweet lullabies, there was a tranquil village named Meadowbrook. Known for its lush meadows and vibrant gardens, Meadowbrook was blessed with a unique flower called the star lily. The star lily bloomed only once every 100 years and was said to grant a single wish to the pure of heart who found it. In Meadowbrook lived a humble, kind-hearted girl named Clara. Clara loved nature and spent her days tending to her garden and helping her neighbors. She had heard stories about the star lily from her grandmother, who had always told her that finding the flower was a rare and wondrous event. One bright spring morning, Clara woke to find a message tucked beneath her pillow. It read, "The star lily blooms tonight." To find it, follow the light of the morning sun to the Whispering Meadow. Clara was thrilled and determined to see the star lily. As the day progressed, she prepared for her adventure, gathering a small satchel of provisions and setting out for the Whispering Meadow. The meadow was known for its beauty and tranquility, and Clara had always felt a special connection to it. As Clara walked towards the meadow, the sun began to set, casting a warm, golden light across the landscape. She followed the path through the meadow, guided by the soft glow of the evening sun. The gentle breeze seemed to whisper encouragement as she walked. Eventually, Clara arrived at a secluded grove at the center of the meadow. The grove was surrounded by ancient, towering trees whose leaves shimmered with a silvery hue in the fading light. In the center of the grove stood a majestic, glowing stone pedestal. On top of the pedestal was the star lily, its petals radiant with a celestial light. As Clara approached the flower, she was greeted by a gentle, shimmering figure emerging from the shadows. It was the spirit of the meadow, a guardian of the land with a graceful presence and eyes that sparkled like the night sky. "Welcome, Clara," the spirit said with a warm smile. "You have found the star lily, a rare and magical flower. To receive its gift, you must prove your heart's true nature." The spirit presented Clara with 3 tasks. 1. The task of kindness ***. Clara was to help a wandering traveler who had lost their way in the meadow. Clara spotted an elderly man looking confused and offered him guidance and companionship back to the village. Her kindness and willingness to help were genuine, and the man thanked her warmly. 2. The task of courage ***. Clara was to cross a narrow, rickety bridge over a deep chasm to reach a hidden glen. Despite her fear, Clara carefully crossed the bridge, determined to complete the task. Her bravery allowed her to safely reach the glen, where she found a basket of delicate, rare flowers. 3. The task of wisdom *** Clara was to solve a riddle given by the spirit. The riddle was, I am not alive, yet I grow. I do not have lungs, yet I need air. I do not have a mouth, yet water kills me. What am I? Clara thought carefully and answered, a fire. The spirit nodded in approval. Having completed the tasks with sincerity and grace, Clara returned to the star lily. The spirit of the meadow blessed her with a heartfelt smile and said, You have shown kindness, courage, and wisdom. The star lily's magic is now yours. The star lily's petals began to glow more brightly, and Clara made her wish, I wish for the well-being and happiness of my village, so that everyone may thrive in harmony and joy. As the words left Clara's lips, a soft, shimmering light enveloped Meadowbrook. The fields became even more fertile, the river sparkled with renewed clarity, and the village flourished with prosperity and peace. The magic of the star lily had brought a lasting blessing to Meadowbrook. Clara returned to her village, where she was greeted with gratitude and celebration. The villagers marveled at the new vitality of their land and honored Clara for her selflessness and bravery. Clara's wish had come true, and Meadowbrook became a place of joy and harmony for all who lived there. The star lily, having fulfilled its purpose, faded into a gentle glow, promising to return in another 100 years. Clara's story was passed down through generations as a testament to the power of kindness, courage, and wisdom. And so, Meadowbrook thrived in the glow of its newfound magic, and Clara lived a life filled with love, joy, and contentment. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a land far beyond the mountains and across the shimmering sea, there was a forgotten kingdom named Eärendil. Eärendil had once been a place of great beauty and joy, where the sun shone warmly on the fields, and the rivers sparkled with crystal-clear water. But over the years, the kingdom had fallen into ruin. The sky had turned gray, the rivers had dried up, and the once happy people had become sad and weary. No one knew why this had happened, but they spoke of a curse that had befallen the land. In a small, hidden village at the edge of Eärendil lived a young girl named Maren. Maren was different from the other villagers. While they had given up hope, she believed that the kingdom could be restored. She had heard whispers of an ancient prophecy that spoke of a hero who would break the curse and bring Eärendil back to life. The prophecy told of the Heart of the Sun, a magical gem hidden deep within the Cavern of Echoes, said to have the power to restore the kingdom. One day, as Maren walked through the forest near her village, she came across an old, weathered book half buried beneath the roots of a tree. The book was filled with stories of Eärendil's past and mentioned the Heart of the Sun. It also contained a map showing the way to the Cavern of Echoes. Determined to save her kingdom, Maren decided to set out on a journey to find the Heart of the Sun. Her loyal companion, a small and clever squirrel named Pippin, insisted on joining her. Together, they packed a small bag of supplies and set off on their adventure, guided by the map and Maren's unwavering belief in the prophecy. Their journey took them through the forest of whispers, where the trees seemed to speak in hushed tones. The first challenge they faced was the Bridge of Mists. This bridge spanned a deep chasm and was shrouded in thick mist, making it impossible to see the other side. To cross, Maren needed to have faith in her heart and trust in the path ahead. With Pippin by her side, Maren stepped onto the bridge. Each step was filled with uncertainty, but she kept moving forward, holding tightly to her belief that she would find the Heart of the Sun. Slowly, the mist began to clear, and they made it safely across. Next, they reached the Valley of Shadows, a dark and eerie place where the shadows seemed to come to life. The valley was guarded by a mysterious figure, the Shadow Keeper, who asked Maren a riddle. I am always hungry, I must always be fed. The finger I touch will soon turn red. What am I? Maren thought carefully and then answered, fire. The Shadow Keeper nodded and allowed them to pass, revealing the entrance to the Cavern of Echoes. The Cavern of Echoes was a vast, underground chamber filled with glistening crystals that reflected the faintest light. Every sound they made echoed through the cavern, creating a symphony of whispers and songs. At the center of the cavern, surrounded by a shimmering pool of water, was the heart of the sun. The gem was golden and warm, glowing with the light of 1,000 sunsets. But as Meren reached out to take the heart of the sun, a deep voice echoed through the cavern. It was the voice of the ancient guardian of the gem, a wise and powerful dragon named Solara. "Why do you seek the heart of the sun?" Solara asked, her voice gentle but commanding. Meren stepped forward, her voice steady. "I seek it not for myself, but for my kingdom. Eärendil has fallen into ruin, and the people have lost all hope. I believe that the heart of the sun can restore the land and bring back the light." Solara regarded Meren with wise, golden eyes. "The heart of the sun is powerful, but it is not the gem alone that can restore Eärendil. It is the courage, hope, and love in the heart of those who seek it. Do you have these within you?" Without hesitation, Meren nodded. "Yes, I do. I love my kingdom, and I will do anything to save it." Moved by her sincerity, Solara lowered her head, allowing Meren to take the heart of the sun. As she did, the cavern filled with a brilliant, golden light, and the echoes transformed into a melody of hope. Meren and Pippin made their way back to Eärendil, carrying the heart of the sun with them. As they entered the kingdom, the sky began to clear, and the rivers began to flow once more. The land that had been barren and gray was now lush and green, filled with the colors of flowers and the songs of birds. The people of Eärendil emerged from their homes, their faces filled with joy and wonder as they witnessed the miraculous transformation. With the heart of the sun placed in the center of the kingdom, its light spread throughout the land, lifting the curse and restoring Eärendil to its former glory. The people rejoiced, and Meren was celebrated as the hero who had saved the kingdom. But she knew that it was not just the gem that had brought about this change, it was the love, courage, and hope that had guided her on her journey. And so, Eärendil flourished once more, a kingdom bathed in the warm, golden light of the heart of the sun. The tale of Meren and her brave quest was passed down through generations, a reminder that even in the darkest times, hope and love can bring light to the world. The end. Once upon a time, in a land where the mountains kissed the sky and the rivers sang soft lullabies, there was a quaint village called Briarwood. The village was nestled at the edge of an enchanted forest, known for its magical flora and mystical creatures. The centerpiece of this forest was the Moonflower Grove, a magical place where the rare moonflowers bloomed only under the light of the full moon. Moonflowers were said to possess a melody that could heal hearts and bring peace to troubled souls. However, they bloomed only once every century, making them a rare and precious gift. The villagers cherished these flowers, but the secret to their magical melody was known only to a few. In Briarwood lived a young girl named Arya. Arya was known for her beautiful singing voice, which had the power to soothe even the most troubled heart. She had always been fascinated by the moonflowers and dreamed of hearing their legendary melody. One day, as the time approached for the moonflowers to bloom, a heavy storm struck Briarwood. The storm lasted for days, and the village was left in disarray. The villagers were worried that the moonflowers would be ruined and their precious melody lost. Determined to save the flowers and bring hope to her village, Arya decided to venture into the Moonflower Grove. She knew the forest well but had never ventured into the heart of the grove where the moonflowers bloomed. She hoped that her singing could coax the flowers into blooming despite the storm's aftermath. With a lantern in hand and a heart full of hope, Arya set out into the enchanted forest. The wind howled and the trees whispered, but Arya pressed on, guided by her determination. As she reached the Moonflower Grove, she found the once beautiful flowers battered by the storm. The petals were drooping, and the ground was wet and muddy. Arya took a deep breath and began to sing. Her voice, soft and melodious, floated through the grove like a gentle breeze. She sang of hope and renewal, of the strength of the village and the beauty of the moonflowers. Her song seemed to resonate with the very heart of the forest. As Arya sang, something magical began to happen. The moonflowers, though battered, started to respond to her melody. Their petals began to shimmer with a soft, silver light, and the gentle melody of their bloom began to weave through the air. The storm clouds parted slightly, allowing a sliver of moonlight to touch the flowers. The moonflowers glowed brighter with each note Arya sang. The grove, once dark and desolate, began to fill with a warm, soothing light. The melody of the flowers mingled with Arya's song, creating a harmonious symphony that resonated through the forest. Soon, the grove was alive with the enchanting melody of the moonflowers. Their music was so beautiful and healing that it seemed to lift the very spirits of the storm-touched land. The villagers, who had been anxiously waiting at the edge of the forest, heard the magical melody and knew that Arya had succeeded. When Arya finally returned to Briarwood, she was greeted with cheers and gratitude. The village was bathed in the soft, calming light of the moonflowers, and their melody brought peace and comfort to everyone. The storm had passed, and the land seemed to have been renewed by the magic of the moonflowers and Arya's song. The story of Arya and the moonflowers became a cherished legend in Briarwood. The villagers learned that even in the darkest times, hope and determination could bring light and beauty. The Moonflower Grove remained a symbol of magic and renewal, and Arya's song continued to be sung in the village, a reminder of the power of music and the enduring spirit of the human heart. And so, Briarwood thrived, forever touched by the melody of the moonflowers and the courage of a young girl who believed in the magic of her song. The end. Once upon a time, in the verdant land of Verdantia, there was a peaceful village nestled between rolling hills and dense forests. The villagers lived simple lives, tending to their fields and caring for their animals. Among them was a young boy named Finn, known for his curiosity and adventurous spirit. One day, while exploring the edge of the forest, Finn stumbled upon an old, weathered chest buried under a blanket of fallen leaves. Intrigued, he brushed off the dirt and opened it to find an ornate key lying atop a velvet cushion. The key was beautifully crafted, with intricate designs and a large emerald embedded in its handle. There was no note or indication of what it might unlock, but Finn felt a mysterious pull towards it. That night, as Finn pondered the key's origin, he noticed a strange glow emanating from the forest. The light seemed to beckon him, and with the key in his pocket, he decided to follow the glow. He ventured deeper into the forest than he had ever gone before, guided by the soft, ethereal light. After a while, Finn arrived at a clearing he had never seen. At its center stood an ancient, ivy-covered gate that shimmered under the moonlight. The gate seemed to hum with magic. Finn took out the key and found that it fit perfectly into the gate's lock. With a turn of the key, the gate creaked open, revealing a hidden path. The path led to a grand, abandoned castle, its towers reaching up to the stars and its walls cloaked in mystery. The castle's grandeur was evident even in its dilapidated state. Finn felt a mix of excitement and trepidation as he entered through the castle's massive wooden doors. Inside, the castle was filled with cobwebs and dust, but there was an undeniable sense of magic in the air. As Finn explored the vast, echoing halls, he noticed that the castle seemed to be in a state of enchanted slumber. The grand chandeliers were covered in shimmering dust, and the tapestries on the walls told stories of a bygone era. In the heart of the castle, Finn discovered a large, ornate door adorned with symbols that matched those on the key. With a deep breath, he inserted the key into the door's lock and turned it. The door opened to reveal a magnificent room bathed in a soft, golden light. At the center of the room was a pedestal with a glowing crystal orb. The moment Finn touched the orb, the castle seemed to come alive. The dust and cobwebs vanished, the chandeliers sparkled brightly, and the tapestries began to move, depicting scenes of vibrant life. A gentle voice filled the room. "Welcome, young seeker," the voice said. "I am Elara, the guardian of this castle. You have freed me from a long enchantment. The key you found was meant for someone with a pure heart and a sense of wonder." Elara, appearing as a radiant spirit, explained that the castle had been cursed many centuries ago by a jealous sorcerer who wanted to keep its magic for himself. The curse had caused the castle to fall into disrepair and to remain hidden from the world. Only someone with true bravery and a kind heart could break the enchantment. Finn listened with awe as Elara continued. "The crystal orb you see before you holds the essence of the castle's magic. With it, you can restore its power and share its wonders with the world." Finn agreed to help and carefully carried the orb back to the village. As he approached the village, the orb's light began to shine even more brightly. The villagers gathered, astonished by the sight of the radiant orb and the newly restored castle. With Alara's guidance, Finn and the villagers worked together to transform the castle into a place of wonder and joy. The once abandoned halls became vibrant with life, and the castle's magic brought prosperity to Verdantia. The village flourished, and the castle became a symbol of hope and enchantment. Finn's bravery and kindness were celebrated, and the tale of the enchanted key and the hidden castle became a cherished legend. The castle stood as a reminder that even in the darkest times, magic and wonder can be found by those with open hearts. And so, Finn lived a life filled with adventure and joy, knowing that he had unlocked not just the doors of an ancient castle, but also the potential for greatness within himself and his village. The Mirror of Echoes. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the mountains touched the clouds and the rivers sparkled with stardust, there was a hidden realm known as Eldoria. Eldoria was famous for its mystical Mirror of Echoes, an enchanted mirror said to reveal not just one's reflection, but the true essence of one's heart and destiny. In Eldoria lived a kind-hearted young woman named Isolde. Isolde was known throughout the land for her wisdom and compassion. Despite her gentle nature, she felt that something important was missing in her life. She longed to discover her true purpose and the path she was meant to follow. The call of the mirror. One evening, as the full moon cast its silvery light over Eldoria, Isolde received a mysterious letter delivered by a shimmering white owl. The letter read, "To find your true path, seek the Mirror of Echoes in the Whispering Caves. There, you will discover the truth that lies within." Determined to uncover her destiny, Isolde set out for the Whispering Caves, a network of mystical caverns hidden deep within the enchanted forest. The journey was long and filled with magical creatures and ancient wonders, but Isolde's heart was steadfast. The Whispering Caves. As Isolde approached the entrance of the Whispering Caves, she was greeted by a gentle breeze that carried soft whispers. The whispers seemed to guide her deeper into the caverns, which glowed with a soft, bioluminescent light. The walls of the caves were adorned with sparkling crystals, and the air was filled with the scent of blooming nightshade flowers. Following the whispers, Isolde arrived at a grand chamber. At the center of the chamber stood the Mirror of Echoes, framed in gold and encrusted with precious gems. The mirror's surface shimmered like a calm, moonlit lake, reflecting not only the surroundings but also the emotions and thoughts of those who gazed into it. The revelation. Isolde approached the mirror with a mixture of awe and trepidation. As she looked into its surface, she saw her reflection transform into various scenes from her past and glimpses of her future. She saw herself helping others, guiding lost souls, and finding joy in simple acts of kindness. The mirror then showed her a vision of a troubled village on the brink of despair. In the vision, Isolde was seen helping the villagers, bringing hope and rebuilding their lives. The scenes revealed her true destiny, to be a beacon of light and support for those in need. The Mirror of Echoes spoke in a gentle, resonant voice, "Isolde, your heart is pure and your intentions noble. Your purpose is to bring hope and healing wherever you go. Embrace this truth and let your light shine." The journey of fulfillment. With a newfound sense of purpose, Isolde left the Whispering Caves and returned to Eldoria. She dedicated herself to helping those in need, traveling far and wide to offer support and kindness. Her presence became a source of hope and inspiration for many. Isolde's journey took her to distant lands, where she used her wisdom and compassion to resolve conflicts, heal broken hearts, and uplift communities. Her acts of kindness and generosity transformed many lives and earned her the title of the Heart of Eldoria. The legacy. Years later, Eldoria thrived as a land of peace and prosperity, all thanks to Isolde's unwavering dedication and love. The Mirror of Echoes remained in the Whispering Caves, a symbol of the wisdom and guidance it had bestowed upon Isolde. The story of Isolde and the Mirror of Echoes was passed down through generations, inspiring countless souls to follow their hearts and embrace their true purpose. Eldoria continued to shine brightly, forever blessed by the courage and compassion of one extraordinary woman. And so, the kingdom of Eldoria remained a beacon of hope and light, guided by the legacy of Isolde and the magical mirror that revealed the truth within. Once upon a time, in the heart of the verdant kingdom of Eldoria, there was a mystical grove known as the Grove of Whispering Wishes. This enchanted grove was said to hold the power to grant a single wish to anyone who proved their worth through acts of courage, wisdom, and kindness. At the center of the grove stood an ancient, shimmering fountain known as the Fountain of Echoes. In a charming village nearby, there lived a young girl named Eloan. Eloan was known for her adventurous spirit and her kindness toward everyone she met. Her best friend was a clever, mischievous squirrel named Pip, who loved to explore and find hidden treasures. One sunny morning, Eloan and Pip discovered a weathered parchment that spoke of a rare celestial event known as the Starfall Festival. The parchment hinted that the Fountain of Echoes would be illuminated by the stars, and those who visited the grove during this event would have a chance to make a wish. Intrigued, Eloan and Pip decided to visit the Grove of Whispering Wishes and uncover its secrets. As the evening approached and the sky began to darken, Eloan and Pip made their way to the grove. The path was lined with glowing lanterns that seemed to float above the ground, guiding them toward their destination. When they arrived at the grove, they were greeted by a soft, enchanting glow emanating from the Fountain of Echoes. The fountain's waters sparkled with a myriad of colors, and the air was filled with the soothing sound of gentle whispers. However, the path to the fountain was blocked by 3 magical gates, each with a unique trial that needed to be completed before they could reach the fountain. The first gate was the Gate of Courage. It was guarded by a majestic, but stern, griffin who challenged Eloan and Pip with a riddle. "I have keys but open no locks, I have space but no room, you can enter but not go outside. What am I?" Eloan thought hard and then realized the answer was a piano. As she spoke the answer aloud, the griffin nodded in approval, and the gate slowly opened, allowing them to proceed to the next trial. The second gate was the Gate of Wisdom. It was a shimmering gate covered in ancient runes. To open it, Eloan and Pip needed to solve a complex puzzle made of glowing, interlocking pieces that formed a celestial map. Pip used his nimble paws to fit the pieces together, while Eloan guided him by reading the runes. As they completed the celestial map, the gate glowed brightly and opened, revealing the path to the final gate. The last gate was the Gate of Kindness. It was adorned with delicate vines and flowers and guarded by a gentle spirit. To pass through, they needed to perform a kind deed. In the clearing near the gate, they found a small, injured fawn with a hurt leg. Eloan and Pip carefully tended to the fawn, using herbs and soft cloths to treat its injury. Eloan spoke soothingly to the fawn, and Pip offered it fresh water and tender leaves to eat. The fawn, now feeling much better, nuzzled them gratefully. The spirit, touched by their compassion, allowed them to pass through the gate. They reached the Fountain of Echoes, which was now illuminated by the falling stars, creating a breathtaking spectacle of light and color. Eloan and Pip approached the fountain, their hearts filled with hope and wonder. Eloan closed her eyes and made her wish, "I wish for the prosperity and happiness of all the people and creatures of Eldoria, so that they may live in harmony and joy." The Fountain of Echoes shimmered with a radiant light, and a gentle breeze carried Eloan's wish throughout the kingdom. The stars above twinkled even more brightly, and a sense of peace and happiness spread across Eldoria. Eloan and Pip returned to their village, where they were greeted with gratitude and celebration. The story of their adventure and the magic of the Grove of Whispering Wishes became a cherished legend, reminding everyone of the power of courage, wisdom, and kindness. And so, the Grove of Whispering Wishes continued to be a place of magic and wonder, where dreams and wishes flourished under the light of the stars. The end. Once upon a time, in a lush, green valley surrounded by misty mountains, there was a charming village named Riverton. The village was known for its sparkling river, which meandered through the valley, and its friendly, hard-working people. However, beyond the mountains, no one knew what lay hidden. Local legends spoke of a hidden kingdom that could only be reached by crossing a bridge made of silver that appeared only once every 100 years. In Riverton lived a young boy named Finn, who was curious and adventurous. He had grown up listening to tales of the Hidden Kingdom, a magical realm filled with wondrous creatures and treasures beyond imagination. As the centennial of the Silver Bridge's appearance approached, Finn was determined to find it and uncover the mysteries of the Hidden Kingdom. On the eve of the centennial, Finn set out on his quest. he followed the river as it wound through the mountains, guided by the shimmering glow of the moonlight. As the night grew darker, Finn found himself at the base of the tallest mountain, where the path became steep and treacherous. Undeterred, he climbed steadily, his heart set on discovering the bridge. After hours of climbing, Finn reached a plateau where he saw a radiant, silver light shining through the mist. He pushed through the dense fog and emerged into a breathtaking scene. There, stretching across a deep chasm, was the silver bridge, its surface gleaming like the moonlit sky. As Finn stepped onto the bridge, he felt a sense of awe and excitement. The bridge swayed gently beneath his feet, and he could hear the soft, melodious hum of magic in the air. He walked slowly, savoring the moment, until he reached the other side. On the far side of the bridge, Finn entered a magnificent forest where the trees sparkled with a silvery sheen, and the flowers glowed with a gentle, otherworldly light. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blossoms, and the sound of laughter and music floated through the trees. Following the sounds, Finn arrived at the entrance of a grand palace made of crystal and gold. The palace was surrounded by a lush garden where fantastical creatures roamed freely. A group of elegant fairies fluttered around the garden, their wings shimmering like precious gems. A kind fairy queen named Lysandra welcomed Finn with a warm smile. "Welcome to the Hidden Kingdom, brave traveler. We have been expecting you. You are the first to cross the Silver Bridge in 100 years." Finn was astonished by the beauty and magic of the Hidden Kingdom. "I've heard so many stories about this place," he said. "I wanted to see if the tales were true." Queen Lysandra nodded. "Our kingdom is indeed as wondrous as the stories suggest. However, there is more to the Hidden Kingdom than what meets the eye. We have been facing a problem that only someone with a pure heart can help us solve." She led Finn to a chamber within the palace where a large, ancient tree stood. The tree's once lush leaves were now wilting, and its branches seemed to droop with sadness. "This is the heart tree," Lysandra explained. "It is the source of our kingdom's magic and vitality. However, it has been losing its magic because of a dark enchantment that has seeped into our land. We need someone to retrieve the starlight crystal from the depths of the enchanted cavern to restore the heart tree." Finn agreed to help, and the queen guided him to the entrance of the enchanted cavern. The cavern was a labyrinth of sparkling crystals and winding tunnels. Finn ventured inside, using his lantern to light the way. Along his journey, he encountered various magical creatures who offered him riddles and challenges. One of the creatures, a wise old dragon named Draconis, posed a riddle. "I have keys but open no locks, I have space but no room, you can enter but cannot go outside. What am I?" Finn thought deeply and then answered, "A piano." Draconis nodded in approval and handed Finn a glowing gem. "This will help you find the starlight crystal." With the gem's light guiding him, Finn continued through the cavern until he reached a large, shimmering pool. At the center of the pool, on a pedestal made of crystal, was the starlight crystal, radiating a soft, silver-blue light. Finn carefully retrieved the crystal and made his way back to the Hidden Kingdom. Returning to the heart tree, Finn placed the starlight crystal into a hollow in the tree's trunk. As the crystal's light mingled with the tree's magic, the heart tree began to rejuvenate. Its leaves unfurled and its branches lifted, glowing with renewed vigor. The Hidden Kingdom was filled with joy and celebration. Queen Lysandra and her subjects thanked Finn for his bravery and selflessness. As a token of their gratitude, they gifted him a small vial of enchanted moonlight, which would allow him to visit the Hidden Kingdom whenever he wished. As Finn left the Hidden Kingdom and crossed the Silver Bridge back to his village, he felt a sense of fulfillment. The tales of the Hidden Kingdom were true, and he had played a part in preserving its magic. Back in Riverton, Finn shared his incredible adventure with his fellow villagers, and the story of the Hidden Kingdom became a cherished legend. The Silver Bridge and the Hidden Kingdom remained a symbol of hope and wonder, reminding everyone that magic and adventure await those with brave hearts and pure intentions. The end. Once upon a time, in the peaceful kingdom of Greenhollow, nestled between rolling hills and sparkling rivers, there was a tiny village named Elderglen. Elderglen was known for its lush meadows, where flowers of every color bloomed and children played. Among these children was a bright-eyed girl named Marigold, who loved to explore the forests and meadows around her home. Marigold had a special friend, a wise old hedgehog named Thistle. Thistle was not just any hedgehog, he had lived for many years and knew all the secrets of the forest. Every day, Marigold would visit Thistle in his cozy burrow, and he would tell her stories of magic and wonder. One afternoon, as Marigold was wandering through the forest, she stumbled upon a hidden glen she had never seen before. In the center of the glen was an ancient, gnarled tree with silver bark and leaves that shimmered like emeralds. Intrigued, Marigold approached the tree and saw a small door carved into its trunk. Above the door was an inscription, "The heart of the forest awaits." Marigold's curiosity got the better of her. She gently pushed open the door and found herself in a room filled with a soft, green light. In the center of the room sat a small, glowing orb on a pedestal. As she reached out to touch it, a voice echoed through the room. "Only the pure of heart can awaken the heart of the forest." Startled, Marigold stepped back. "Who's there?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. From the shadows emerged a beautiful, ethereal figure with long, flowing hair that seemed to be made of sunlight and moonbeams. "I am Sylvana, the guardian of the forest. The heart of the forest is in danger, and only you can save it." Marigold, though nervous, felt a surge of determination. "What must I do?" Sylvana explained that the heart of the forest had been stolen by a dark sorcerer named Malakar, who sought to drain its magic for his own wicked purposes. Without the heart, the forest and all its creatures would wither and die. Marigold had to journey to Malakar's fortress, retrieve the heart, and return it to the glen. Without hesitation, Marigold agreed. Sylvana gave her a silver pendant shaped like a leaf, telling her it would protect her from harm. She also gave her a vial of sparkling liquid, saying it was a potion of courage. Marigold set off at dawn, with Thistle by her side. They traveled through dense forests and over rugged hills, following a map Sylvana had given them. Along the way, they encountered various challenges that tested Marigold's bravery and wisdom. First, they came across a rickety bridge over a deep chasm. As they started to cross, the bridge began to sway dangerously. Marigold took a deep breath and drank the potion of courage. With newfound confidence, she guided Thistle safely across. Next, they faced a dark and tangled thicket that seemed impenetrable. Thistle, using his knowledge of the forest, showed Marigold a hidden path that led them through the thicket unharmed. Finally, they reached Malakar's fortress, a dark and foreboding place surrounded by high walls and guarded by fierce creatures. Marigold clutched the silver pendant and whispered a prayer for protection. As they approached the gate, it swung open silently, as if inviting them in. Inside the fortress, they navigated through twisting corridors and shadowy halls until they reached a grand chamber where Malakar sat on a throne of black stone, holding the glowing heart of the forest in his hand. "You cannot take the heart from me," Malakar sneered. "Its power is mine." Marigold stepped forward bravely. "The heart belongs to the forest and its creatures. You have no right to keep it." Malakar laughed, but his laughter was cut short as Marigold held up the silver pendant. It glowed brightly, and Malakar recoiled, blinded by its light. Seizing the moment, Marigold and Thistle rushed forward. With a swift move, Marigold grabbed the heart from Malakar's grasp. As soon as she touched the heart, it glowed even brighter, filling the chamber with light. Malakar screamed in rage, but the light grew so intense that he was forced to flee, disappearing into the shadows. With the heart of the forest safely in her hands, Marigold and Thistle hurried back to the hidden glen. Sylvana was waiting for them, her face radiant with joy. "You have done it," she exclaimed. "You have saved the heart of the forest." Marigold carefully placed the heart back on its pedestal. As she did, the entire glen erupted in a cascade of colors and light. Flowers bloomed, trees swayed with newfound life, and the air was filled with the songs of birds and the hum of magic. Sylvana turned to Marigold with gratitude. "You have not only saved the forest but have also proven that true courage and kindness can overcome any darkness. The forest will forever be in your debt." Marigold returned to Elderglen as a hero, her heart full of pride and joy. The villagers celebrated her bravery, and the forest thrived like never before. From that day on, Marigold continued to explore and protect the forest, always guided by the lessons she had learned. And so, the kingdom of Greenhollow flourished under the watchful eye of its new guardian, and Marigold's adventures became the stuff of legends, reminding everyone that even the smallest among us can achieve the greatest of deeds. The Enchanted Compass. Once upon a time, in a quiet coastal village surrounded by majestic cliffs and misty seas, there was a young girl named Mira who dreamed of adventures beyond the horizon. Mira had always been fascinated by the tales of distant lands told by sailors who visited the village. Her father, a fisherman, would often share stories of his voyages, which only fueled her longing for exploration. One day, while exploring the attic of her family's cottage, Mira discovered an old, dusty chest. Inside, she found a beautifully crafted compass with intricate designs etched into its brass surface. The compass needle didn't point north; instead, it spun wildly and seemed to be enchanted. There was a note tucked inside the chest that read, "To find your true path, follow where the compass leads, but beware of the challenges it brings." The call to adventure excited by her discovery, Mira decided to follow the compass's guidance. She packed a small satchel with essentials and set out toward the cliffs, where the compass needle pointed. As she ventured beyond familiar paths, the landscape transformed, becoming wilder and more magical. Mira's first challenge was a swirling river that seemed impossible to cross. The compass's needle spun in the direction of a hidden stone path beneath the water. Using the compass as her guide, Mira carefully stepped on the stones, which glowed faintly with each step she took. She reached the other side safely, her heart filled with determination. The Forest of Whispers. The compass led Mira into a dense, enchanted forest known as the Forest of Whispers. The trees were tall and ancient, and their leaves rustled with secrets. As Mira walked, she noticed that the forest seemed to whisper her name, and the path was increasingly difficult to follow. In the heart of the forest, she met a wise old owl named Orion, who perched on a branch. Orion spoke, "To continue on your journey, you must solve the riddle of the forest. Only then will the path become clear." The riddle was, "I have keys but open no locks, I have space but no room, you can enter but not go outside. What am I?" Mira thought for a moment and then answered confidently, "A piano." Orion nodded, pleased with her answer, and the forest paths began to illuminate, guiding her further along. The Isle of Echoes. The compass now directed Mira to a rocky shore where a small boat awaited her. She rowed across the sea to the Isle of Echoes, a mystical island said to be inhabited by elusive sea spirits. The island was surrounded by a fog that made it hard to see. As she stepped onto the island, the fog parted to reveal a grand, ancient lighthouse. At the lighthouse's base was a large, intricately carved door with a locking mechanism that matched the compass's design. Mira realized that the compass was not just a guide but also the key. She inserted the compass into the lock, and the door creaked open to reveal a hidden chamber. Inside, she found a beautiful, glowing pearl resting on a velvet cushion. The pearl's light was warm and inviting, and Mira felt an immediate sense of peace. The return journey. With the pearl in hand, Mira retraced her steps, following the compass as it led her back to the village. Along the way, she encountered the challenges she had faced before but now found them easier to overcome, as if the pearl had granted her newfound confidence and insight. When she returned, the villagers were amazed by her adventure. The pearl was placed in the village square as a symbol of courage and discovery. Mira's journey became legendary, inspiring others to follow their dreams and embrace their own adventures. The enchanted compass was carefully stored in the village's small museum, a reminder of Mira's bravery and the magic that lies beyond the horizon. A new beginning. Mira's tales of her adventure continued to captivate the villagers and beyond. She grew up to become a renowned explorer, traveling far and wide, always guided by the spirit of her first adventure and the lessons learned from the enchanted compass. And so, the village thrived, always remembering the girl who followed her dreams and discovered a world of magic and wonder beyond their shores. The Whispering Fountain. Once upon a time, in a land of rolling hills and enchanted forests, there was a small village known for its vibrant gardens and bustling marketplace. Despite its charm, the village was plagued by a mystery. The whispering fountain in the center of the village square had gone silent. Once, it was said to grant wishes to those who listened carefully to its murmurs, but now it was just an ordinary fountain. In this village lived a kind-hearted girl named Clara, who loved to help others and had a special fondness for the whispering fountain. She remembered the stories her grandmother used to tell about the fountain's magic and wished she could restore its voice. One day, Clara decided to embark on a quest to discover the reason behind the fountain's silence and restore its magic. She packed a small satchel with essentials and set off towards the heart of the forest, where the village elders said the magic of the fountain originated. As Clara ventured into the forest, she followed a narrow, winding path lined with ancient trees whose branches whispered secrets to each other. The forest was alive with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. Clara listened carefully to the whispers, hoping they would guide her. After a few hours, Clara came across a beautiful, shimmering pool nestled among a grove of silver birch trees. In the center of the pool was a stone pedestal with a delicate, crystal vial resting upon it. The vial was filled with a liquid that sparkled like stardust. A wise old owl perched on a nearby branch noticed Clara and said, "Welcome, young traveler. I see you seek the magic of the whispering fountain." Clara nodded eagerly. "Yes, I wish to restore the fountain's voice. Can you help me?" The owl blinked its golden eyes and replied, "This vial contains the essence of echoes, a magical liquid that can restore the fountain's voice. However, it must be combined with a song of pure heart and kindness. Only then will the fountain regain its magic." Clara's heart swelled with determination. "I will sing a song of kindness and hope." With the vial in hand, Clara made her way back to the village. She carefully poured the essence of echoes into the fountain's basin. As she did, she began to sing a gentle melody, one that spoke of love, joy, and the beauty of helping others. Her voice was soft and sweet, and the villagers gathered around, enchanted by the song. As Clara sang, the fountain's waters began to shimmer and bubble. Slowly, the whispers returned, growing louder and more vibrant. The once silent fountain now hummed with life, its water sparkling like diamonds in the sunlight. The villagers watched in awe as the fountain's magic was restored. The water rose gracefully, forming shapes of flowers, stars, and gentle creatures that danced in the air. The fountain's voice, soft and melodious, spoke words of encouragement and hope to all who listened. "You have restored the magic of the whispering fountain," the fountain's voice echoed. "May its whispers guide and bless all who seek its wisdom." The village erupted in joy and celebration. The fountain became a symbol of hope and unity, and its whispers served as a reminder of the kindness and love that had brought its magic back. Clara was hailed as a heroine, and her song became a cherished part of village lore. As the days went by, Clara continued to help others and spread kindness throughout the village. The whispering fountain remained a source of inspiration and wonder, and its magic touched the lives of all who visited it. And so, Clara's tale became a beloved story, reminding everyone that true magic lies in the purity of the heart and the power of selfless acts. The village thrived, and the whispering fountain's voice continued to echo through the years, a testament to the enduring power of kindness and hope. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in the mystical land of Astralon, there was a kingdom nestled among the stars. Astralon was a place where the sky met the earth, and every night, the heavens would light up with the most breathtaking display of stars. In the heart of this kingdom, there grew a rare and magical flower known as the starflower. It was said that whoever possessed the starflower would be blessed with eternal wisdom and prosperity. The starflower bloomed only once every 100 years, and the time for its next bloom was approaching. The kingdom eagerly awaited the moment, for the current king, Orion, had grown old and weary, and he needed the wisdom of the starflower to guide his kingdom into a new era of peace and prosperity. Among the people of Astralon was a young girl named Lyra. She was kind-hearted, adventurous, and loved by all who knew her. Lyra had always been fascinated by the tales of the starflower and dreamed of seeing it bloom one day. She often spent her evenings gazing at the stars, imagining the wonders that awaited her in the enchanted forest where the starflower grew. As the time for the starflower's bloom drew near, King Orion announced a great quest. He called upon the bravest and most worthy individuals to journey into the enchanted forest and retrieve the starflower. The one who succeeded would not only bring prosperity to the kingdom but would also be granted one wish. Lyra, filled with determination and excitement, decided to embark on the quest. She knew the journey would be perilous, but her heart was set on seeing the starflower and helping her beloved kingdom. With her parents' blessings and a small satchel of supplies, Lyra set off on her adventure. As she entered the enchanted forest, Lyra encountered a wise old owl named Athos. Perched high in the branches of an ancient tree, Athos greeted her with a gentle hoot. "Young traveler," Athos said, "I see you seek the starflower. The path is fraught with challenges, but I can guide you. Answer my riddle, and I will help you on your way. What has roots as nobody sees, is taller than trees, up it goes, and yet never grows?" Lyra thought for a moment and then replied, "A mountain." Athos nodded approvingly and spread his wings. "Correct. Follow me, and I will lead you to the first trial." Lyra followed Athos deeper into the forest until they reached a crystal-clear lake. By the lake stood a beautiful water nymph named Selene. Her eyes sparkled like the surface of the water, and she greeted Lyra with a warm smile. "To cross this lake," Selene said, "you must show your kindness and empathy. There is a wounded fish trapped among the reeds. Help it, and I will grant you safe passage." Lyra found the fish and gently freed it from the reeds, using herbs from her satchel to heal its wounds. The fish swam away, and Selene, touched by Lyra's kindness, created a path of water lilies across the lake. On the other side of the lake, Lyra encountered a majestic stag named Erinder, the guardian of the starflower. Erinder's antlers glowed with a soft, magical light, and his presence commanded respect. "Brave traveler," Erinder said, "to reach the starflower, you must face your greatest fears. Beyond this point lies the Cave of Shadows, where your deepest fears will manifest. Only those with the purest hearts can pass." Lyra took a deep breath and stepped into the Cave of Shadows. The darkness enveloped her, and visions of her fears began to appear. She saw her loved ones in danger, her village in ruins, and herself lost and alone. But Lyra remembered her purpose and the love she had for her kingdom. She faced each fear with courage and determination, and soon the shadows began to fade. Emerging from the cave, Lyra found herself in a radiant clearing where the starflower stood in full bloom. Its petals shimmered with a celestial light, and the air around it was filled with a soothing, melodic hum. Lyra approached the starflower and carefully picked it, feeling its magic resonate within her. With the starflower in hand, Lyra made her way back to the kingdom. The journey had been long and arduous, but her spirit remained unbroken. As she reached the palace, King Orion greeted her with tears of joy in his eyes. "Lyra," the king said, "you have done a great service to Astralon. You have proven your bravery, kindness, and wisdom. The starflower will bring prosperity to our kingdom, and as promised, you are granted one wish." Lyra thought for a moment and then spoke. "Your Majesty, my wish is for the wisdom and prosperity of the starflower to be shared with all the people of Astralon. Let its magic bring peace and harmony to every corner of our land." The king, deeply moved by Lyra's selflessness, granted her wish. The magic of the starflower spread throughout the kingdom, healing the land and uniting the people. Under the guidance of King Orion and the wisdom of the starflower, Astralon entered a golden age of peace and prosperity. Lyra was celebrated as a hero, and her tale was told for generations to come. The Starflower Princess, they called her, the girl who brought light and harmony to the kingdom with her bravery and pure heart. And so, the kingdom of Astralon thrived, its people living in joy and unity, forever grateful to the young girl who dared to venture into the enchanted forest and retrieve the magical starflower. The end. Once upon a time, in the tranquil kingdom of Eldoria, there was a hidden realm known as the Meadow of Moonlight. This meadow was famous for its shimmering flowers that only bloomed under the light of the moon, and for the moonflower tree, a majestic tree said to grant one wish to those who approached it with a pure heart. The moonflower tree was hidden deep within the meadow and could only be revealed during the celestial night, when the moon was full and the sky sparkled with stars. In the quaint village of Glimmerbrook, there lived a thoughtful and adventurous girl named Elara. Elara had a deep connection with nature and was known throughout her village for her generosity and courage. Her dearest friend was a clever and brave fox named Milo, who was skilled at navigating through the forest and solving puzzles. One evening, as the celestial night approached, Elara and Milo discovered an ancient, intricately carved locket buried beneath a mossy stone in the forest. The locket contained a delicate, silvery key and a note that read, "The meadow of moonlight awaits. Use this key on the celestial night to unlock the magic within." Excited by the prospect of finding the moonflower tree and making a wish, Elara and Milo set out on their journey as the full moon began to rise. The path to the meadow of moonlight was illuminated by the soft, ethereal glow of the moon and the twinkling stars above. As they entered the meadow, they were greeted by the enchanting beauty of the moonlit flowers and the soothing sound of a gentle breeze. However, the path to the moonflower tree was blocked by 3 magical challenges. The first challenge was the maze of luminescence. They found themselves in a labyrinth of glowing hedges that shifted and changed color. To navigate through the maze, they had to follow the patterns of light that led them to the center. Milo's keen eyes and Elara's careful observation helped them decipher the patterns and find the correct path. After much effort, they emerged from the maze and reached a serene, moonlit clearing. The second challenge was the Whispering Stream. A shimmering stream flowed through the clearing, and its waters whispered riddles that needed to be answered to proceed. A gentle voice from the stream asked, "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Elara thought for a moment and then answered confidently, "A joke." The waters of the stream sparkled with approval, and a bridge of moonlight appeared, leading them to the next challenge. The final challenge was the Garden of Reflections. In this garden, they encountered a series of mirrors that reflected their deepest fears and desires. To continue, they needed to face their reflections and speak their true intentions. Elara and Milo took a deep breath and faced their reflections. Elara saw her greatest wish, to bring happiness and prosperity to her village, reflected back at her. She spoke from her heart, "I wish for the well-being and joy of everyone in Glimmerbrook, so that we may all live in harmony." As Elara's words echoed through the garden, the moonflower tree's branches began to glow with a brilliant, silvery light. The magic of the tree spread throughout the meadow and beyond, touching every corner of Eldoria. When Elara and Milo returned to Glimmerbrook, they found their village transformed. The fields were lush and green, the air was filled with laughter and joy, and the people were deeply content and grateful. The story of Elara and Milo's adventure and the magic of the Meadow of Moonlight became a cherished tale in Eldoria, reminding everyone of the power of selfless wishes and the beauty of a pure heart. And so, the Meadow of Moonlight continued to be a place of magic and wonder, where dreams and wishes were fulfilled under the light of the full moon. The end. Once upon a time, in a land where rolling hills met endless starry skies, there was a small village named Starhaven. Starhaven was known for its nightly market of moonlight, a magical bazaar that only appeared under the light of the full moon. The market was a place of wonder where dreams came to life and the impossible became possible. In this village lived a kind-hearted girl named Luna. Luna was known for her radiant smile and her love for stories. Every full moon, she would visit the market of moonlight with her grandmother, who had always told her marvelous tales of its magic. Luna longed to discover the true magic of the market for herself. One crisp evening, with the full moon glowing brightly in the sky, Luna set out to the market alone. As she arrived, she was greeted by a dazzling array of stalls, each brimming with fantastical goods, shimmering fabrics, enchanted trinkets, and potions that sparkled like the night sky. The air was filled with the melodies of celestial music and the aroma of sweet, exotic treats. Luna wandered through the market, marveling at the wonders around her. She came across a stall run by an old woman with a kind face, who sold jars of moonlight that flickered with a soft, golden glow. "Welcome, dear," the old woman said. "These jars hold the essence of moonlight. Each one contains a single wish. Choose wisely, for once the jar is opened, the wish must be made with a true heart." Luna's eyes widened with excitement. She picked up a jar and saw that it was filled with the light of 1,000 stars. The old woman's words echoed in her mind, and Luna pondered her deepest wish. She wanted to bring joy and wonder to her village, especially for those who had never been able to visit the moonlight market. As Luna continued to explore, she stumbled upon a mysterious stall that seemed to shimmer and change colors with every step she took. At the stall stood a charming young man with silver hair and a mischievous grin. He was selling enchanted maps that promised to lead the way to hidden treasures. "Ah, a curious soul," the young man said. "These maps show the path to treasures that can only be found under the light of the full moon. Would you like to find one?" Luna nodded eagerly, and the young man handed her a glowing map. "Follow the map and it will lead you to a treasure that is meant for you." With the map in hand, Luna followed its glowing path through the market. The map led her to a secluded corner where a small, sparkling pond was nestled among the stalls. The water of the pond seemed to dance with the light of the moon. As Luna approached the pond, she noticed a small, silver key lying on the ground. She picked it up and found a tiny, ornate chest half buried in the sand. Using the key, she opened the chest and found a beautiful, intricately designed locket inside. The locket was adorned with a crescent moon and tiny, twinkling stars. Suddenly, a gentle voice spoke from the locket. "You have discovered the Moonlight Locket, which holds the power to share the magic of the market with others. It can bring the enchantment of the market of moonlight to those who have never experienced it." Luna's heart swelled with joy. She knew this was the magic she had hoped for. She thanked the locket and made her way back to the village with a renewed sense of purpose. As Luna arrived home, she gathered her friends and family and showed them the Moonlight Locket. She told them about her adventure and how the locket could share the magic of the market of moonlight with their village. The villagers were filled with excitement and wonder. That evening, as the full moon rose high in the sky, Luna held the locket up and wished for the magic of the market to visit their village. Instantly, the village was bathed in a soft, magical light, and the market of moonlight appeared before them. The villagers were amazed as they explored the market, marveling at the wonders and delights. They found enchanted trinkets, tasted exotic treats, and danced to the celestial music. The magic of the market brought joy and happiness to everyone, creating memories that would last a lifetime. Luna's wish had come true, and the village of Starhaven thrived with the enchantment of the Moonlight Market. The magic of the market became a cherished part of their lives, and Luna's story was told for generations, reminding everyone of the power of a selfless wish and the magic that can be found when one's heart is filled with love and kindness. And they lived happily ever after. The end. Once upon a time, in a land where lush meadows met towering mountains, there was a peaceful village named Everbrook. Everbrook was renowned for its breathtaking beauty and its people's warm hospitality. However, the village faced a great challenge. A terrible drought had dried up the once abundant river that provided water to the fields and homes. One evening, as the villagers gathered in the town square to discuss their predicament, an old storyteller named Elias shared a forgotten legend. He spoke of an ancient crystal key, hidden in a mysterious cave, that could restore the flow of the river. According to the legend, the key was guarded by the gentle spirit of the cave, and only someone with a heart full of courage and kindness could retrieve it. Among the villagers was a young girl named Mira. Mira was known for her bravery and her unwavering determination to help others. Her family's farm was struggling due to the drought, but Mira's spirit remained strong. Hearing the legend, she decided to embark on a quest to find the crystal key and save her village. The next morning, Mira set out towards the mountains, guided by the directions Elias had shared. She trekked through the dense forest and up the rugged paths, her heart filled with hope and her mind focused on the task ahead. After a long journey, Mira arrived at the mouth of the mysterious cave. The entrance was adorned with ancient carvings of stars and moons, and a soft, golden light emanated from within. Mira took a deep breath and entered the cave, her footsteps echoing softly against the stone walls. Inside the cave, Mira found a magnificent underground chamber bathed in shimmering light. At the center of the chamber was a pedestal with an ornate crystal key resting upon it. The key sparkled with every color of the rainbow, casting reflections on the cave walls. As Mira approached the pedestal, a gentle voice spoke from the shadows. "Welcome, brave soul. To claim the crystal key, you must prove your heart's true intention. Are you prepared to face this challenge?" Mira nodded, her heart racing but her resolve unshaken. "I am ready." The voice continued, "To test your heart, you must solve 3 riddles. Each riddle will reveal a part of the key's power. Answer wisely, and you shall succeed." The first riddle echoed through the chamber. "I am not alive, yet I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, yet water kills me. What am I?" Mira thought for a moment and then answered, "Fire." The pedestal glowed warmly, and the second riddle began. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Mira smiled as she recognized the answer. An echo. The pedestal's glow intensified, and the final riddle was spoken. "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Mira pondered this riddle for a while. Then, with a spark of inspiration, she said, "A joke." With her correct answers, the pedestal shone brightly, and the crystal key lifted into the air. The gentle spirit of the cave appeared before Mira, a luminous figure with a kind and knowing smile. "You have answered the riddles with wisdom and sincerity," the spirit said. "The crystal key is now yours. Use its power to restore what has been lost." Mira took the key with gratitude and began her journey back to Everbrook. As she neared the village, she noticed that the once dry riverbed was now starting to glisten with fresh, flowing water. With the crystal key in hand, Mira approached the river's source, a hidden spring in the mountains. She inserted the key into a hidden lock near the spring, and a cascade of water burst forth, rejuvenating the river and bringing life back to the fields and homes of Everbrook. The villagers rejoiced at the sight of the flowing river and the return of their prosperity. Mira was celebrated as a hero, and the village thrived once again, thanks to her bravery in the magic of the crystal key. The story of Mira's quest became a beloved tale in Everbrook, a reminder of the power of courage, wisdom, and a kind heart. The crystal key was placed in a special shrine in the village, a symbol of hope and a testament to the magic that lies within every courageous soul. And so, Everbrook flourished, and Mira's name was remembered with great admiration. The village thrived under the watchful gaze of the mountains and the gentle flow of the river, forever grateful for the brave girl who had restored their happiness. The end. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom called Aveloria, there was a small village named Bramblewood nestled between the rolling hills and the deep, ancient forest. The village was known for its beautiful, sprawling gardens and the kind-hearted people who lived there. Among them was a young girl named Elara, who was known for her adventurous spirit and her love for animals. Elara lived with her grandmother, who was the village healer. Her grandmother often told her stories about the enchanted forest and the magical creatures that lived within it. One story that always intrigued Elara was about the legendary Golden Blossom, a flower said to have the power to heal any ailment and bring prosperity to the land. One day, a terrible drought struck Bramblewood. The gardens wilted, the rivers dried up, and the villagers grew desperate. Elara knew that the only hope for her village was to find the Golden Blossom. Despite her grandmother's warnings about the dangers of the enchanted forest, Elara decided to embark on the quest to find the magical flower. With a heart full of determination, Elara set off into the forest, accompanied by her loyal friend, a clever fox named Finn. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the trees grew taller and the light dimmer. They encountered many obstacles, but Elara's courage and Finn's cleverness helped them overcome each one. After several days of travel, they reached a glimmering pond guarded by a majestic swan with feathers that shone like the moon. The swan spoke in a melodious voice, "To find the Golden Blossom, you must first answer my riddle. Fail, and you shall be turned away." Elara nodded, ready to face the challenge. The swan asked, I have roots that cannot be seen, I'm taller than trees, I move with the wind, I whisper without a voice. What am I? Elara thought hard. She looked around and saw the trees swaying gently, their leaves rustling softly. You are a mountain, she said confidently. The swan nodded gracefully. You are correct. Follow the path that lies beyond, and you shall find what you seek. Elara and Finn continued their journey, following the path until they reached a clearing where a grand, ancient oak tree stood. The tree had a face, and it spoke with a deep, resonant voice. To pass, you must prove your worth by showing compassion. As they pondered how to prove their compassion, they heard a rustling in the bushes. A small, injured fawn limped into the clearing, looking frightened. Elara's heart went out to the poor creature. She approached it gently and used the healing herbs her grandmother had taught her to mend the fawn's wounds. The fawn nuzzled her hand gratefully before bounding away into the forest. The ancient oak tree's face creased into a smile. You have shown true compassion. You may pass. They walked past the oak tree and finally reached the heart of the forest, where the golden blossom was said to bloom. There, they found a beautiful, golden flower shining brightly in a beam of sunlight. But as Elara reached for it, a shadow fell over her. Malachar, a dark sorcerer who sought to use the golden blossom for his own evil purposes, emerged from the shadows. You dare to take what is mine? Malachar hissed, his eyes glowing with malice. Elara stood her ground, clutching the pendant her grandmother had given her for protection. The golden blossom belongs to the forest and the people it can help. It doesn't belong to you. Malachar laughed, and with a flick of his wrist, he summoned a storm of dark magic. But just as he was about to strike, Finn leapt at him, distracting the sorcerer. In the chaos, Elara grabbed the golden blossom and held it high. The flower's light intensified, and a powerful wave of magic surged through the forest, banishing Malachar and restoring life to the land. The trees blossomed, the rivers flowed with crystal-clear water, and the forest creatures rejoiced. Elara and Finn made their way back to Bramblewood with the golden blossom, their hearts light with triumph. As they entered the village, the people gathered around, their faces filled with hope. Elara planted the golden blossom in the center of the village. Its magic spread, bringing rain to the parched land, healing the sick, and ensuring bountiful harvests for years to come. Elara became a hero in Bramblewood, her name spoken with gratitude and reverence. The village thrived, and the story of the brave girl and her clever fox who saved the village with the golden blossom was passed down through generations, inspiring courage and compassion in all who heard it. And so, the kingdom of Aveloria lived happily ever after, forever blessed by the magic of the golden blossom and the bravery of a young girl named Elara. The magic of Willow's Grove. Once upon a time, in a land of rolling hills and blooming meadows, there was a small village nestled beside an ancient forest. In this village lived a curious boy named Oliver. Oliver loved exploring and had a special fascination with the old stories and legends of his village, especially the tale of Willow's Grove. According to the legend, Willow's Grove was a hidden part of the forest where the trees were enchanted and had the power to grant wishes. However, the entrance to this magical grove was hidden and could only be found by someone who truly believed in magic and had a pure heart. One bright autumn morning, Oliver decided to search for Willow's Grove. He packed a small satchel with food, a map, and his trusty compass, then set off into the forest. The trees were ablaze with colors of red and gold, and the air was filled with the scent of fallen leaves. As Oliver ventured deeper into the forest, he came across an old, gnarled oak tree with a large hollow at its base. Curious, he peered inside and found a small, intricately carved wooden box. Inside the box was a note that read, "To find Willow's Grove, follow the whispers of the trees and listen to the songs of the birds." Determined, Oliver continued his journey, keeping his ears open for any whispers and songs. The forest was alive with the chatter of birds and the rustling of leaves, but he focused on the sounds that seemed to guide him forward. After walking for hours, Oliver came to a clearing where a circle of ancient, majestic trees stood. They were unlike any trees he had seen before, with silver leaves that shimmered in the sunlight. As he approached, he noticed a gentle, melodious hum emanating from the trees. It was as if they were singing a soft, harmonious tune. Oliver took a deep breath and closed his eyes, allowing the music of the trees to fill his senses. As he listened, the hum seemed to form words: "Welcome, seeker of magic. The path to Willow's Grove lies before you." With renewed hope, Oliver followed the melody, which seemed to grow stronger as he walked. The ground beneath him began to glow with a faint, golden light, and he soon found himself at the edge of a hidden glade. In the center of the glade stood an enormous willow tree with branches that cascaded to the ground like a shimmering curtain. The willow tree's bark was adorned with delicate, glowing runes, and its leaves sparkled like stars. Oliver approached the tree with reverence, feeling a sense of awe and wonder. As he reached out to touch the bark, the runes began to glow brighter, and a soft, melodious voice spoke. "Welcome, Oliver. You have found Willow's Grove, a place where wishes are woven into the fabric of dreams. What is it that you seek?" Oliver hesitated for a moment, then spoke from his heart. "I wish to bring joy and prosperity to my village. We have been facing hardships, and I want to help them find happiness and abundance." The willow tree's branches swayed gently, and the air filled with a warm, golden light. "Your wish comes from a pure heart," the voice said. "To fulfill it, you must make a gift of your own. Place a small token of your village's love at the base of the tree, and the magic of Willow's Grove will begin to work." Oliver thought for a moment and then took out a small, handcrafted wooden charm from his satchel. It was a simple heart-shaped pendant, intricately carved and painted with vibrant colors. He had made it himself, and it symbolized the love and unity of his village. With a sense of gratitude, Oliver placed the charm at the base of the willow tree. As soon as he did, the ground began to shimmer, and a gentle breeze carried the charm away, as if it were being lifted by an invisible hand. The golden light from the tree enveloped the entire glade, and Oliver felt a sense of peace and fulfillment. "Your gift has been accepted," the voice said. "Return to your village, and you will find that the magic of Willow's Grove has already begun to work." Oliver made his way back to the village, his heart light and hopeful. As he approached, he was amazed to see the once barren fields now lush and green. The villagers were busy harvesting a bountiful crop, and the air was filled with laughter and joy. It was as if the land itself had been transformed, bringing prosperity and happiness to everyone. The villagers greeted Oliver with cheers and gratitude, and he shared the story of his journey and the magic of Willow's Grove. They celebrated with a grand feast, and Oliver's wish for joy and abundance had come true. From that day on, the village thrived, and the legend of Willow's Grove lived on as a symbol of hope and magic. The villagers continued to honor the grove and the enchanting willow tree that had helped them in their time of need. And so, Oliver's adventure became a cherished tale, reminding everyone that true magic lies not only in enchanted places but also in the love, unity, and selflessness of the heart. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and the sparkling river, there was a magical garden known as the Moonlit Garden. This garden was said to be enchanted, blooming only under the light of the full moon. Its flowers were renowned for their vibrant colors and sweet fragrances, which brought peace and joy to anyone who visited. The caretaker of this magical place was a young woman named Alara. She had grown up in the village and had always been fascinated by the stories of the Moonlit Garden's wonders. Her grandmother had passed down the knowledge of the garden's secrets, and now Alara tended to it with love and dedication. One evening, as the full moon rose high in the sky, Alara noticed something unusual. Amidst the familiar glow of the garden's flowers, a single, unusual flower had appeared. It was a deep shade of blue, shimmering with an otherworldly light. Alara had never seen anything like it before. As she approached the mysterious flower, a soft voice echoed through the garden. "Thank you for finding me," it said. Alara looked around but saw no one. "Who's there?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. The voice continued, "I am Lysander, a guardian of the Moonlit Garden. I have been waiting for someone with a pure heart to help me break a spell that has bound me to this garden." Elara was astonished. "A spell? How can I help?" Lysander explained that long ago, he had been transformed into a flower by a wicked sorcerer who sought to control the garden's magic. The only way to break the spell was to gather 3 magical ingredients from the far corners of the land. 1. The golden feather from the peak of the Whispering Mountains. 2. The tear of a star from the depths of the celestial lake. 3. The heart of the evergreen tree from the heart of the ancient forest. Determined to help Lysander, Elara set off on her quest. She traveled first to the Whispering Mountains, where the winds carried whispers of ancient secrets. After a challenging climb, she found a golden feather nestled in a nest high atop the peak. The feather shimmered with a warm, golden light. Next, Elara journeyed to the celestial lake, a serene and magical place where the water sparkled like diamonds. She waited patiently as the stars reflected on the water's surface. Eventually, a single tear fell from the sky and landed in the lake, turning into a luminous, glowing tear. Her final destination was the ancient forest, where the evergreen tree stood tall and proud. Elara approached the tree with reverence and discovered a hidden chamber within its trunk. Inside was a radiant heart, pulsing with a gentle, green light. With the 3 magical ingredients in hand, Elara returned to the moonlit garden. Under the light of the full moon, she placed the golden feather, the tear of the star, and the heart of the evergreen tree around Lysander's flower. As she did so, the garden was filled with a brilliant light, and Lysander's form began to shimmer and transform. In a flash of light, Lysander appeared before her, no longer a flower but a tall, graceful figure with an aura of gentle light. He thanked Elara for her bravery and kindness. "You have broken the spell and restored the garden's magic," he said. Elara smiled, relieved and happy. "I'm glad I could help. The moonlit garden is truly a special place." Lysander nodded. "And now, you are its new guardian. The garden's magic will be safe with you." From that night on, Elara continued to care for the moonlit garden, ensuring its magic flourished under the light of the full moon. The garden remained a place of wonder and tranquility, cherished by all who visited. And so, the moonlit garden thrived, its blooms glowing brightly with the magic of friendship, bravery, and the gentle light of the moon. The end. Once upon a time, in the enchanting kingdom of Harmonia, music flowed through the very air, and melodies danced with the wind. The kingdom was blessed by the golden lyre, a magical instrument that had the power to bring harmony and unity to all who heard its music. It was said that the lyre's strings were spun from the sun's rays, and its melodies could heal the deepest wounds and bring peace to troubled hearts. King Alaric, the benevolent ruler of Harmonia, had always ensured the golden lyre was played at every festival and celebration, spreading joy throughout the kingdom. However, as time passed, a dark sorcerer named Malachar, jealous of Harmonia's happiness, cast a spell to steal the golden lyre. One stormy night, he succeeded, and the kingdom was plunged into sorrow and discord. Without the lyre's soothing music, disputes broke out among the people, and the once harmonious kingdom fell into chaos. King Alaric, deeply troubled by the turmoil, summoned the bravest and kindest individuals from across the land to help retrieve the golden lyre and restore peace. Among those who answered the call was a young girl named Arya. She was a talented musician with a heart as pure as her melodies. Though she had no formal training in combat or magic, Arya's love for music and her kingdom gave her the courage to volunteer for the quest. "Your Majesty," Arya said, kneeling before King Alaric, "I will find the golden lyre and bring it back to Harmonia. Music has the power to heal, and I cannot bear to see our kingdom in such despair." King Alaric, seeing the determination in Arya's eyes, nodded. "Arya, your courage and love for our kingdom are truly admirable. Take this pendant, it was blessed by the spirit of harmony and will guide you on your journey. May the melodies of Harmonia protect you." With the pendant around her neck, Arya set off on her quest. She traveled through lush forests, crossed shimmering rivers, and climbed towering mountains, guided by the pendant's gentle glow. Along the way, she met a clever and loyal squirrel named Nutkin, who offered to accompany her. "Hello, Arya," Nutkin chattered, his eyes bright with excitement. "I know these lands well and can help you find Malakar's lair." Grateful for the companionship, Arya and Nutkin continued their journey together. As they ventured deeper into the wilderness, they encountered an ancient, gnarled tree known as the Tree of Wisdom. The tree's face appeared in the bark, its eyes wise and kind. "To proceed on your quest," the Tree of Wisdom said in a deep, resonant voice, "you must solve my riddle. I am not alive, but I grow. I do not have lungs, but I need air. I have no mouth, and yet I can drown. What am I?" Arya thought for a moment before replying, "Fire." The Tree of Wisdom's branches rustled in approval. "You are wise and perceptive, young one. Continue on your journey, and may the spirit of harmony guide you." As they traveled further, Arya and Nutkin reached a tranquil lake guarded by a gentle water spirit named Selene. Her voice was like the soothing sound of waves, and she greeted them with a serene smile. "To cross my lake," Selene said, "you must show your compassion. There is a wounded fish trapped among the reeds. Help it find its way home, and I will grant you safe passage." Arya and Nutkin quickly found the fish and gently freed it from the reeds, guiding it back to the deeper waters. Selene, touched by their kindness, created a path of shimmering water lilies for them to cross. On the other side of the lake, they arrived at a dark, foreboding cave where Malakar hid with the golden lyre. The entrance was guarded by shadowy creatures, their eyes glowing with malice. Arya, her heart steady, played a simple, beautiful melody on her flute. The music, pure and enchanting, caused the shadowy creatures to retreat, allowing her and Nutkin to enter the cave. Inside, they found Malakar, holding the golden lyre, its light dimmed by his dark magic. Malakar sneered at them, his voice dripping with contempt. "Do you think you can defeat me with your simple tunes?" Arya stood tall, her voice clear and unwavering. "The power of music lies not in its complexity but in its purity and the love it conveys. Harmonia will not be silenced by your darkness." With that, Arya began to play a melody she had composed in her heart, a song of unity and hope. The pendant around her neck glowed brightly, amplifying the music's power. The cave was filled with radiant light, and the shadows dissipated. The golden lyre responded to Arya's music, its strings vibrating with renewed energy. The dark magic binding it was broken, and the lyre floated into Arya's hands, its light shining brilliantly once more. Malakar, defeated and weakened, fled the cave, unable to withstand the power of the music. Arya and Nutkin returned to Harmonia, the golden lyre safely in her hands. Upon their return, Arya played the lyre at the grand celebration, and its music spread throughout the kingdom. The people of Harmonia felt their hearts lift and their spirits unite. Disputes were resolved, and harmony was restored. King Alaric, deeply moved by Arya's bravery in the lyre's return, honored her with a place in his court as the kingdom's musician laureate. Her story of courage and the power of pure music became a cherished tale in Harmonia. From that day forward, the golden lyre's melodies filled the air once more, ensuring peace and unity in Harmonia. Arya's legacy lived on, a testament to the enduring power of love, courage, and the magical bond of music. And so, Harmonia thrived, its people living in joy and harmony, forever grateful to the brave girl who brought back the song of unity. The end. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and the sparkling river, there lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was known throughout the village for her love of music. She could often be found singing sweet melodies or playing her small, wooden flute beneath the ancient oak tree in the village square. One sunny afternoon, while exploring her grandmother's attic, Elara stumbled upon a dusty, old music box. It was adorned with delicate engravings of stars and moons, and it had a small, shimmering key. Intrigued, Elara gently wound the key and opened the music box. To her amazement, a beautiful, ethereal melody began to play, filling the attic with a soft, magical light. As the music swirled around her, Elara noticed something strange. The melody seemed to create tiny, glowing sparks that danced in the air. She reached out to touch one of the sparks, and in an instant, she was transported to a wondrous, Magical Realm. The New World was a land of enchanted forests and sparkling rivers. Colorful flowers bloomed everywhere, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of jasmine and roses. In the heart of this magical land stood a grand castle made of crystal, its towers reaching high into the sky. Elara approached the castle, her heart racing with excitement. Inside the castle, she met a wise old fairy named Seraphina. The fairy wore a flowing gown made of stardust and had wings that shimmered like moonlight. Seraphina welcomed Elara warmly and explained that the music box was a magical artifact that could open a portal to their realm, but only for those with a heart full of joy and wonder. The melody of the music box, Seraphina said, was crafted by an ancient spell to bring harmony and happiness to our world. However, it has been lost for many years, and our realm has been falling into darkness. Seraphina told Elara that to restore balance, she needed to find 3 special crystals hidden throughout the realm. Each crystal held a piece of the music box's magic, and once collected, they would help restore the harmony that had been lost. Determined to help, Elara set out on her quest. The first crystal was said to be hidden in the Whispering Woods, where the trees spoke in gentle voices. As Elara ventured into the woods, she listened carefully to the whispers of the trees. They guided her to a hidden glade where the crystal lay nestled among a bed of glowing mushrooms. With the first crystal in hand, Elara continued her journey to the second location, the Crystal Lake. The lake was said to reflect the stars even in daylight. As Elara approached the shimmering waters, she saw that the crystal was submerged beneath the surface, glowing faintly. Using her flute, she played a soothing melody that calmed the waters, allowing her to retrieve the crystal. The final crystal was hidden in the Cave of Echoes, where the walls were lined with sparkling gems. Elara entered the cave, where every sound echoed back to her. She played a melody on her flute that harmonized perfectly with the echoes, revealing the hidden crystal in a secret alcove. With all 3 crystals in hand, Elara returned to the grand castle. Seraphina and the magical beings of the realm gathered to witness the restoration of the music box's magic. Elara carefully placed the crystals into the music box, and as she did, the box began to glow brightly, its melody growing richer and more vibrant. The magical realm was instantly transformed. The once dim landscapes now sparkled with renewed light, and the flowers and trees seemed to sing along with the music. The enchantment had been restored, and the realm was filled with joy and harmony once more. Seraphina thanked Elara for her bravery and kindness. As a token of their gratitude, the Fairy Queen gifted Elara a beautiful, enchanted pendant that would allow her to visit their magical realm whenever she wished. Elara returned to her village, her heart filled with the wonders of her adventure. From that day on, Elara's music was even more enchanting, and the melodies she played brought joy and magic to everyone who heard them. The music box remained a cherished keepsake, a reminder of the magical realm she had saved and the power of a kind heart. And so, the tale of Elara and the enchanted music box became a beloved story in the village, inspiring generations to seek out magic and beauty in the world around them. In a quaint seaside village known for its shimmering sands and gentle waves, there was a legend about a magical starfish that lived in the deepest part of the ocean. This starfish was said to have the power to grant one heartfelt wish to anyone who proved their kindness and courage. One day, a young boy named Leo, who lived in the village, found his world turned upside down. His beloved dog, Max, had fallen ill and no remedy seemed to work. Leo had heard the old tales of the magical starfish and decided to seek it out in hopes of saving his friend. With a determined heart, Leo set out for the ocean just as the sun began to set. He navigated through the rocky shoreline and boarded a small boat that his father had built. As the boat glided into the open sea, the sky turned a beautiful shade of twilight, and the first stars began to twinkle. Leo sailed far beyond the village, guided only by the shimmering sea and the stories of the magical starfish. As night fell, the water beneath him began to glow with a soft, ethereal light. Leo knew he was close. He anchored his boat and dove into the water, swimming toward the mysterious light. As he descended into the depths of the ocean, the light grew brighter, revealing an underwater kingdom of colorful coral and schools of radiant fish. At the heart of this magical realm, Leo spotted the starfish resting on a bed of golden seaweed. Its 5 arms sparkled with hues of blue, green, and purple. "Hello," Leo called out, his voice bubbling through the water. "I've come to find the starfish and make a wish. My dog Max is very ill, and I need your help." The starfish stirred, its eyes twinkling with a gentle light. "To receive the magic of the starfish, you must first prove your kindness and bravery. There are 3 tasks you must complete." Leo nodded eagerly. "I will do whatever it takes." The first task was to help a group of sea turtles that had become entangled in a mass of discarded fishing nets. Leo swam swiftly to their aid, carefully cutting away the nets and freeing the turtles. The grateful turtles swam in circles around him, guiding him with their gentle nudges toward the next task. The second task was to find a lost pearl that had been stolen by a mischievous octopus. The octopus, although playful, was known for hiding things in tricky places. Leo followed the octopus's playful movements and discovered the pearl nestled in a hidden cave. He returned the pearl to the grateful octopus, who rewarded him with a glowing seashell as a token of thanks. For the final task, Leo had to navigate through a dark underwater cavern filled with swirling currents and shadowy figures. With the light from the glowing seashell and the courage in his heart, Leo ventured through the cavern, using his wits to avoid the dangers and find the exit. When he emerged from the cavern, he saw the starfish waiting for him with a warm, welcoming glow. "You have completed the tasks with bravery and kindness. Your wish shall now be granted." The starfish waved its arms, and a soft, magical light enveloped Leo. The light surged through the ocean and traveled back to the shore where Max lay. As the light touched Max, his strength returned, and he stood up, wagging his tail and barking joyfully. Leo returned to the village, where he was greeted with cheers and celebration. Max was healthy and full of life once more, and the villagers marveled at Leo's bravery and the magic of the starfish. The starfish continued to dwell in its underwater kingdom, its magic a reminder of the power of kindness and courage. And whenever the village children looked out at the sea, they remembered the tale of Leo and the starfish's secret, knowing that even in the deepest depths, magic awaited those who truly believed. Once upon a time, in a kingdom known for its breathtaking meadows and sparkling rivers, there was a small village called Starfield. Starfield was famous for a single, extraordinary flower called the starflower. This rare flower bloomed only once every 100 years under the light of the full moon and was said to hold the secret to endless happiness. In this village lived a kind-hearted girl named Elara. Elara was known for her love of nature and her deep sense of wonder. She had heard stories about the starflower all her life and dreamed of seeing it in bloom. However, as the time for the starflower's appearance approached, a mysterious fog began to cover the kingdom, preventing the villagers from reaching the meadow where the starflower grew. Determined to see the starflower and bring its magic to her village, Elara decided to embark on a quest to uncover its secret. She packed a small satchel with essentials, her grandmother's old compass, a lantern, and a book of local legends. With her trusty cat, Whiskers, by her side, Elara set off towards the fog-covered meadow. As they ventured into the fog, Elara and Whiskers encountered a wise old owl perched on a branch. The owl's eyes glowed like the moon, and it greeted them with a knowing look. "Greetings, brave traveler," the owl said. "The path to the starflower is obscured by the fog. To clear the way, you must find 3 enchanted items hidden within the forest." Elara nodded, her resolve strengthening. "What are these items?" The owl replied, "The items are a moonstone, a silver feather, and a crystal tear. They hold the power to dispel the fog and reveal the path to the starflower." With this knowledge, Elara and Whiskers set off to find the enchanted items. Their first destination was the Moonstone Cave, a hidden grotto said to glow with moonlight. Inside the cave, they found the moonstone resting on a pedestal surrounded by shimmering crystals. To retrieve it, Elara had to solve a puzzle etched into the pedestal. "I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Elara thought carefully and answered, "Fire." The pedestal opened, and the moonstone was revealed. Next, they journeyed to the Whispering Grove, where the silver feather was said to be hidden. The grove was filled with trees that seemed to whisper secrets to one another. As Alara walked among them, a gentle breeze rustled the leaves, revealing a nest high in the branches. In the nest was a magnificent silver feather, glowing softly. As she carefully retrieved the feather, the whispers of the grove grew more harmonious, guiding her to her next destination. The final item, the crystal tear, was located in the heart of the forest, a mystical glade where magical creatures gathered. Alara found the glade, but the crystal tear was guarded by a mischievous sprite named Pippin. Pippin challenged Alara to a game of riddles. If you can solve my riddle, the crystal tear will be yours. If not, you must leave empty-handed. Pippin's riddle was, I am always in front of you but never seen. I am what you leave behind when you move forward. What am I? Alara thought for a moment and answered, a shadow. Pippin smiled and handed over the crystal tear, acknowledging Alara's cleverness. With the 3 enchanted items, Moonstone, Silver Feather, and Crystal Tear, Alara and Whiskers returned to the fog-covered meadow. As they approached, Alara placed the items in a special order she had learned from the legends. The Moonstone was set on a pedestal, the Silver Feather was gently placed beside it, and the Crystal Tear was held high. The fog began to lift, revealing a path leading to the heart of the meadow. There, bathed in moonlight, was the starflower, its petals shimmering with a radiant, ethereal glow. The sight was even more magnificent than Alara had imagined. As Alara approached the starflower, a soft voice filled the air. You have shown great bravery and determination. The secret of the starflower is not just in its beauty but in the joy you've brought to others through your quest. With this realization, Alara felt a deep sense of happiness. She knew that the magic of the starflower would be a beacon of hope and joy for her village. As she returned to Starfield, the fog had completely vanished, and the villagers greeted her with cheers and celebration. The starflower's magic brought prosperity and happiness to the village, and Alara's story became a cherished legend, reminding everyone of the power of courage, kindness, and the pursuit of dreams. And so, Alara, Whiskers, and the village of Starfield lived happily ever after, always carrying the light and magic of the starflower in their hearts. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between rolling hills and a dense, ancient forest, there was a young girl named Lila. Lila was known for her kindness and her love of the stars. Every night, she would climb up to the top of a hill just outside the village to watch the stars twinkle in the sky. But Lila's favorite was the moon, with its soft glow that illuminated the world below. One night, as Lila gazed up at the full moon, she noticed something strange. The moon's light seemed to be growing dimmer, as if it was losing its shine. The stars around it began to fade, and the sky grew darker and darker. Concerned, Lila rushed back to her village to tell the elders, but they were puzzled. No one had ever heard of the moon losing its light. Determined to find out what was happening, Lila decided to venture into the forest to seek answers. The forest was said to be magical, with ancient trees that whispered secrets and animals that could speak. Lila had never ventured far into the forest, but she knew that if there was any place that could help her save the moon, it was there. The Forest of Secrets. Lila set off early the next morning, carrying only a small lantern and a piece of bread. The forest was thick with trees, their branches intertwined to form a canopy that blocked out much of the sunlight. The air was cool and filled with the scent of pine and earth. As Lila walked deeper into the forest, she began to hear faint whispers, as if the trees were talking to each other. Suddenly, a small, golden fox appeared on the path in front of her. The fox had bright, intelligent eyes, and it spoke in a soft voice. "What brings you to the Forest of Secrets, little one?" Lila, though surprised to hear the fox speak, replied, "I've come to find out why the moon is losing its light. The moon is so important to me, and I want to help it shine again." The fox nodded. "The moon's light is fading because its heart is broken. It has been alone in the sky for too long, watching over the world but never having a friend. The only way to restore its light is to find the moonlit pond, deep within the forest. There, you can summon the moon's reflection, and if you can offer it a true gift of friendship, the moon's light will be restored. The journey to the moonlit pond. Lila thanked the fox and continued her journey, guided by the whispers of the forest. As she walked, she encountered many creatures who had heard of her quest. A wise old owl gave her a silver feather, saying, "This feather will show you the way when you are lost." A gentle deer offered her a sprig of lavender, saying, "This will calm your heart in times of fear." After many hours of walking, the forest began to change. The trees grew taller, and their leaves shimmered with a soft, silvery light. The air became cooler, and Lila could hear the sound of water flowing nearby. She followed the sound until she came upon a beautiful pond, its surface perfectly still and reflecting the sky above. Lila knew she had found the moonlit pond. The water was so clear that it looked like a mirror, reflecting the darkened sky and the faint, dim moon. She knelt by the edge of the pond and gently placed the silver feather and the sprig of lavender on the water's surface. The moon's reflection. As soon as the feather and lavender touched the water, the surface began to ripple, and the reflection of the moon shimmered. Slowly, a figure emerged from the pond, a delicate, glowing being that looked like a smaller version of the moon itself. It was the moon's reflection, and it gazed at Lila with sad, longing eyes. "Why have you come, child of the earth?" the moon's reflection asked, its voice as soft as a breeze. "I have come to offer you my friendship," Lila replied. "You watch over us every night, but I know you must feel lonely. I want to be your friend, to share stories with you and keep you company." The moon's reflection smiled, and the light around it grew a little brighter. "You are kind, little one, but what can a small girl offer the moon?" Lila thought for a moment, then reached into her pocket and pulled out a small, round stone. It was smooth and had a tiny star carved into it, something Lila had found one day while exploring the hills. She had always kept it as a treasure, but now she realized it was the perfect gift. "This stone is my most precious possession," Lila said, holding it out to the moon's reflection. "It reminds me of the stars and the sky, and it brings me comfort. I want you to have it, so you can remember that you're never alone." The moon's light restored. The moon's reflection took the stone and held it close. As it did, the reflection's light grew stronger, and the pond began to glow with a radiant light. The sky above started to brighten, and the moon's light slowly returned to its former glory. "Thank you, Lila," the moon's reflection said. "Your gift has filled my heart with warmth, and I no longer feel alone. I will shine brightly once more, and I will always watch over you, my friend." With those words, the reflection slowly faded back into the pond, leaving the water calm and still once more. Lila watched as the moon in the sky grew brighter and brighter, until it was shining as brilliantly as ever. The return home satisfied and filled with joy, Lila made her way back through the forest. The animals she had met earlier greeted her with smiles and nods, knowing that she had succeeded in her quest. The golden fox appeared once more and guided her back to the edge of the forest. When Lila returned to her village, she found the villagers gathered outside, marveling at the moon's restored light. They cheered when they saw Lila, knowing that she had been the one to save the moon. From that night on, Lila would often stand on the hill, talking to the moon as if it were an old friend. And every night, the moon would shine a little brighter, as if listening to her stories. The legacy of the moonlit pond. As years passed, the tale of Lila and the moonlit pond became a beloved story in the village. Children would gather under the stars to hear the story of how a young girl's kindness and bravery saved the moon's light. The moonlit pond remained a place of wonder, where the brave could still find the moon's reflection and offer their friendship. And so, the moon continued to shine brightly in the night sky, a reminder that even the loneliest hearts can find warmth and light through the power of true friendship. The end. Once upon a time, in a quaint village called Green Hollow, there was a legend about a magical spring hidden deep within the Whispering Woods. This spring, known as the Heart Spring, was said to grant a single wish to anyone who could find it. However, it had been lost to time, and no one had seen it for many years. In Green Hollow lived a young boy named Leo. Leo was known for his curiosity and kind heart. He loved listening to the old stories and helping his neighbors. One day, the village faced a terrible drought. The fields were parched, and the river that flowed through Green Hollow had dried up. The villagers were worried, and they remembered the old tale of the Heart Spring. Determined to help, Leo decided he would find the Heart Spring and make a wish to bring water back to the village. Early one morning, with a small backpack filled with essentials, Leo set off into the Whispering Woods. The forest was dense and filled with ancient trees that seemed to whisper secrets. As Leo walked, he noticed a golden light filtering through the trees. He followed the light until he came across a wise, old fox with fur that shimmered like the sun. "Greetings, young traveler," said the fox. "I am Eldrick, the guardian of these woods. To find the Heart Spring, you must pass 3 trials. Only then will you uncover the path to its hidden location." Leo nodded, ready for the challenge. Eldrick explained the first trial, the trial of courage. Beyond the misty glade lies a cavern guarded by a fierce, enchanted serpent. You must enter the cavern and retrieve a crystal that will guide you further. With bravery, Leo reached the misty glade and found the cavern entrance. Inside, the cavern was dark and filled with eerie echoes. At its center, a large, shimmering serpent coiled around the glowing crystal. Leo took a deep breath and approached the serpent with calm confidence. "I seek only the crystal to help my village," Leo said. The serpent, sensing his sincerity, allowed him to take the crystal, which glowed brightly in his hand. The second trial was the trial of wisdom. Eldrick directed Leo to a large, ancient oak tree with a riddle carved into its bark. The riddle read, "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?" "Star." Leo thought carefully and recalled the stories he had heard about echoes. With a smile, he answered, "An echo." The tree's bark shimmered, and a hidden passage opened, leading Leo to a sparkling river that flowed with clear, cool water. The third and final trial was the trial of kindness. Leo found a small, injured fawn by the riverbank. Its leg was caught in a trap, and it looked at Leo with trusting eyes. Leo carefully freed the fawn and tended to its wound using some herbs from his backpack. The fawn nuzzled Leo gratefully and then led him to a hidden grove. In the center of the grove was a beautiful, crystal-clear spring, the Heart Spring. Its waters sparkled like diamonds, and a soft, magical melody filled the air. Leo approached the spring and made his wish with a full heart. "I wish for the waters of the Heart Spring to return to my village so that my people and their land may thrive once more." The Heart Spring glowed brightly, and a gentle rain began to fall, nourishing the land. Leo felt a sense of warmth and satisfaction as he watched the spring's waters flow towards the Whispering Woods and eventually towards Green Hollow. When Leo returned to the village, the fields were green again, and the river was flowing with fresh, life-giving water. The villagers rejoiced, praising Leo for his bravery, wisdom, and kindness. The tale of the Heart Spring and Leo's quest became a cherished story in Green Hollow, passed down through generations. And so, the village thrived once more, its fields lush and its waters flowing, forever grateful for the heart of a courageous boy who restored the magic of the Heart Spring. The end. Once upon a time, in a village nestled between rolling green hills and whispering woods, lived a kind-hearted young girl named Lila. She had a special gift, an enchanted flute passed down through her family for generations. Whenever Lila played, the melodies had the power to calm storms, heal broken hearts, and bring joy to even the saddest soul. One crisp autumn morning, as the sun's first rays painted the sky with gold, Lila noticed something strange. The village's usual bustle was replaced by an eerie silence. The villagers were nowhere to be seen, and a thick fog had settled over the land. Concerned, Lila picked up her flute and set out to discover what had happened. As she ventured into the forest, she saw the fog thickening and heard distant, haunting whispers. Her heart raced, but she bravely pressed on, guided by the shimmering light of her flute. She arrived at a clearing where a great oak tree stood, a tree that was rumored to be the heart of the forest. Under the tree, Lila discovered a large, golden key embedded in the earth. Around the key danced shadowy figures, who seemed to be trapped. Realizing that the key was important, Lila played a gentle tune on her flute. The notes floated through the air, calming the shadows and revealing their true forms, enchanted woodland creatures. The creatures told Lila that a wicked sorceress named Morgana had cast a spell to trap the villagers and seize the magical powers of the forest for herself. The sorceress had hidden the key to the spell's binding chest, which was the only way to break the enchantment. Without it, the village would remain in darkness forever. Determined to save her home, Lila asked the woodland creatures for help. They led her to an ancient cave where Morgana's magic was the strongest. Inside, she found the chest, adorned with intricate runes and locked tight. The golden key, however, fit perfectly. With a deep breath, Lila played a powerful melody that resonated with the key's magic. The chest opened, and a burst of light filled the cave. The spell was lifted, and the fog began to dissipate. The villagers emerged from their hiding places, joyfully reunited with their loved ones. But Morgana was not finished. Enraged, she appeared before Lila, her eyes blazing with fury. "You may have freed the villagers," Morgana sneered, "but you will never stop my quest for power." Lila, though frightened, stood her ground. "Magic is meant to bring happiness and help others," she said. "It is not for selfish desires." As Morgana prepared to cast her spell, Lila played a soothing tune on her flute. The melody was so pure and calming that Morgana's rage began to wane. The sorceress's dark magic faltered, and the enchantments she had cast were undone. With one final, sorrowful note, Lila's music filled the cave, and Morgana's heart softened. The sorceress, touched by the beauty of the music and the truth in Lila's words, realized the error of her ways. "I have been blinded by my own ambition," Morgana confessed. "I see now that true power lies not in control, but in kindness and understanding." From that day forward, Morgana used her magic to assist and heal, becoming a guardian of the forest rather than its foe. The village thrived once more, and Lila's enchanted melodies became legendary, bringing peace and joy wherever they were heard. And so, in a world where magic and kindness flourished, the tale of Lila and the enchanted melody was told for generations, reminding everyone that even the darkest times could be brightened by a pure heart and a sweet song. And they all lived happily